Sickos Club.
Sickos Club.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to The Hard Way. I am back after a bout of food poisoning from a shrimp burrito. Don't worry, I'm fine.
I wasn't.
And you weren't fine. Did you miss me?
I mean, I wasn't worried.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh well.
I was
fuck.
stuck with Blade though.
But you,
for like
but
3
you boys
hours.
did fantastic. You did fantastic.
Thanks.
Thank you for picking up the slack.
It was
I
the
had to-
ultimate can they coexist episode.
We did a Can They Coexist
There
episode.
you
Yes,
go.
that's right. I did
You
have
did.
to smack him around a few times just to kind of bring him up to speed about how we do things around here.
Well, we
you
walked
know,
out with the gold.
He's new to the Riz, the J. I don't know why I just said the word Riz. I hate myself. Anyway,
Start
today we're talking about a real fun show. We're talking about Superbrawl #2, WCW. This fun little jaunt took place February 29th, 1992 from the Milwaukee Auditorium in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, who is famous for two things, cheese and serial killers.
That's true. Also,
Yeah.
they are famous for the scene from Wayne's World that you just parodied
Yes.
with Alice
Yeah.
Cooper. The natives called it Milwaukee.
I'm pretty sure
Good job.
Dahmer was in attendance at the show, or at
He
least
probably
like
was.
70 people who looked like him. Did you guys know?
At Superbrawl?
Frankenstein!
My favorite thing about this crowd, and I'll get to my like famous or fashionable fan moment later, but like half the crowd looked like a field trip from MIT, and then the other half were just like 90s frat boys.
And,
I think
my favorite, and I wonder if
5,000 of them, by the way.
Yeah.
5,000. I wonder if my favorite is the same as yours. The guy in the front row dressed in 3 shades of brown who was chewing the entire time.
Okay, all right.
For 3 hours, I'm watching this guy, and at one point, he finally puts something in his pocket. I don't know what it was, but his mouth it never stops moving.
Okay, so we're just gonna do the fashionable fan moment before we get into the show, because that is my fashionable fan of the night. He's
knew
this
it.
chubby dude in the front row. He's got on a brown suede jacket, a maroon shirt underneath, and like a brown what is it, like a beret that matches the jacket. He's got a chin strap like Fidel Castro beard and tinted aviator glasses on, and he doesn't react to a fucking thing. Like, he just sits there, arms folded in the front row the entire time. But like, every time I looked at this man, do you guys know who Dr. John was? John Rebenak, the singer?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
He
sure,
must
sure.
have been the right place, but it must have been the wrong time. Like, he just looked like him, and that's all I could think about was from the
You look
last
like
waltz.
Dr. John.
He does, and all I can think about, if you don't know who Dr. John was, he was the inspiration for Dr. Teeth from
Right.
the Muppets.
He's from Nolans.
Yeah, but he all I could think about was from the last waltz, and like he had the best like delivery of like when he would talk. He'd be like, "I just want to take a moment to thank the band and all the fellas. Such a night," and he's just ripping on the piano, man. So good. But that's my
This
fashionable
dude's
fan.
just chewing cud for 3 fucking hours.
I'm glad I'm not the only one who noticed
He
this
was
guy.
right in the middle of the screen.
So he
also.
never stops chewing, and then at some point he puts something in his pocket.
Yeah, and
you
like I
notice-
think
All
he
of
was
that.
getting something. Like he had like a package that I'm thinking he was putting in his mouth. Maybe it
something to
was some
eat.
dip, maybe, or he's chewing. I don't know.
more fucking chaw.
Right? And then
Wow.
like a couple rows to the right of that guy is a dude that looks like Jimmy Hart circa like 1978. And he didn't do anything weird, but he was just there. And his buddy had a camera. Like I don't know. It was a good
The
crowd.
early 90s were weird, man, because my other fashionable fan that I almost put was like when they're going through the crowd during Rick Rude's entrance, there's this lady who is like pissed off, but she's wearing one of those sweaters that's like an all over print of like Mickey Mouse, you know, but it's like 4 different colors.
Right?
Yeah.
An awesome crowd.
All right, well let's jump into this. So first match we got is what?
No, we're not doing first match yet. We haven't even gotten to the good stuff.
We got to get to the intro.
How this show started.
Oh,
okay.
yeah. Okay.
So
yeah.
Tony Schiavone is on the screen with a human mop.
Wait, hold on. Before that, we have that badass fucking intro that was just like ripping 80s music and the moving like wrestler graphics that look like a video game matchup screen or whatever. It's so good.
Yeah.
Oh, I love this era of wrestling. But we start off with baby Tony Schiavone and Eric Bischoff, who looks like he's an extra. He looks like he looks like he's an extra in a Mentos commercial.
He does. He looks like a Ken doll. Like he does.
Holy shit!
No, he was a male model, and he'll tell you about it every chance he gets.
He was a male model.
He kind of looks like my dad.
Yeah, he kind of looks like my dad as well. Actually, do we have the same father? Anyway,
my dad looks like Wilford Brimley.
Really?
He did, yeah.
I can. You know what? Like I can see it.
I guess. Thanks. I don't know.
I'm not saying you look like Wilford Brimley, but you know.
I'll show you a picture of him sometime. He kind of looks like Wilford Brimley.
He does also look like somebody from a Mentos commercial. That's true.
He does, or like a toothpaste commercial. That guy's teeth were too white, man.
Yeah. No, it was weird. Tony Schiavone also looks like he hates Eric Bischoff and doesn't want him there.
What a shocker.
Tony was handsome as a young man.
He was.
Know?
Actually, if you go back and you watch Starrcade 83, when he's like fucking baby ass brand new, he's a handsome little devil. But I will say this. WCW is running amok with egomaniacs at this time. So
yes,
Tony Schiavone's pissed because he feels like he was usurped by Jim Ross. Even though they're friends, he's pissed that Jim Ross is like the main play-by-play guy because that was his job before Jim Ross. But when they bought the UWF, Jim Ross kind of just took the role from him. And they're still, they're actually friends and they're still like fighting over power in the back. Jim Ross hates the guy they're about to introduce because he thinks he's an egomaniac, but Jim Ross is also an egomaniac.
Yeah.
It's really fucking hilarious because you can transparently see it all happening on the screen. I did not realize this. This is a show that I actually watched live as a 12-year-old child. Actually, I was 11. I was just about to turn 12 within like 2 weeks of this show.
I was 4.
Watched this show with my brother. He was still watching wrestling at the time. And this, I have to say, this is my like favorite era of WCW. Like
big time.
89 to 93 is like my shit. Okay. That's like 94 and 95 are like the black shithole of WCW history. It's when they just become WWF lights with just old dudes. And then 96, you get the NWO and you pick back up for like 2-3 years, and then you go into the Vince Russo abyss.
Right.
But I think 94 and 95 have a case for being pretty much as bad as 99 or 2000, 2001. I think they're equivalent. They're all very bad. But this era was fucking rad. Okay? Every person on this show, except for Marcus Alexander Bagwell and Z-Man and Heavy Metal Van Hammer and Vinny Vegas, everybody except them are some of my favorite people ever. Like, I just love them. And I even loved Buff Bagwell later. And obviously Kevin Nash ended up being pretty cool too. But this is a show littered with amazing wrestlers, and these matches hold up. They stand the test of time. Go watch WWF from 1992, folks. Tell me how that looks.
Right.
Well, before we get to these amazing matches, we get a little check-in with Missy Hyatt, who's going to be our backstage correspondent for the evening.
Yep.
And then we get to Jim Ross in the ring to introduce Jesse the Body Ventura, who comes flying down the ramp on a hog. He's got a suede jacket with fringe flying. Yep. He's got a tie-dye shirt on underneath it. A shit kicker goatee. He's got fucking those like thin like 90s fucking sunglasses on. He's got a snapback like dad hat on and a big ponytail, but it's hilarious because he takes the hat off when he starts commentating and he's bald except for the fucking ponytail.
He's got the Ox Baker going on. He's got the Ox Baker.
He does. He gives a quick shout out to Harley Davidson and a little foreshadowing for what Jim Ross would become. Says if he wore a cowboy hat, he would look just like J.R. Ewing.
You know what's funny? Hold on. Before we go anywhere else. There's that famous story about how Vince McMahon wanted him to wear the cowboy hat and call himself JR.
Right.
Jim Ross hadn't been in WWF at this point, and he wasn't going to go there for another year. So Jesse Ventura is actually the one who came up with this idea first.
And he calls him JR throughout the whole show.
Yeah.
He calls him that a few times.
Pisses JR off through this entire show. So there's so much to talk about this intro, and you both need to shut the fuck up for a minute. So hold on. Hold on. This is so good, okay? This is just too good. So we start the show off with the video package that's awesomely horrible, but it kind of awesome at the same time, right?
It was cool. I liked it.
And then we go to Tony Schiavone and Ken Dahl, Eric Bischoff, right? Who are like, I don't mean to sound biased here. I am definitely not biased, even though I went to the University of Michigan. The signers, impersonating a human being laugh. And then we go to Missy. Then we go to Jim, who introduces Jesse, who comes out, who gets the cheap pop because Harley Davidson is based in Milwaukee. And then Jim Ross, when he introduces Jesse, okay, Jim Ross is like little porky boy in a tuxedo trying to look like Hollywood big time, like his oaky version of that. But he's such a fucking gremlin. Like every time he tries to like smile for the camera, it looks so fake and bad. And when Jim Ross, it takes him like forever. I mean, watch WrestleMania a year later, WrestleMania 9. Actually, don't watch that. Watch anything after that because that's the worst WrestleMania. But watch any other 93 footage of Jim Ross in WWF. He's doing the same thing. It's when he stops giving a shit is when he actually becomes great on television. Like when he looks comfortable is when he just stops giving a fuck. But this Jim Ross does give many fucks, and he does not like Jesse Ventura. You can almost immediately tell. They spend like 5 minutes introducing the show and throwing to different people introducing the show before they get to the first match. And I thought that was the most WCW shit ever.
Yep. And the first match we have here is going to be Flying Brian versus Jushin Thunder Liger. And we got this match because at the 91 Halloween Havoc, Pillman defeated Ricky Morton in the finals of a tournament to become the inaugural light heavyweight champion. On December 25th, Pillman lost the title to Liger, who carried it into the new year. And on the February 1st episode of WCW, it was announced that they would be coming together in a rematch here at Superbrawl. And Flying Brian looks great. I thought he looked great in this era. He's got the cool fucking tiger trunks on because he was a Bengal.
Bengals. Yeah.
Got a great fucking head of lettuce. Jushin Thunder Liger has always looked cool as fuck to me, but like, what is this mask supposed to be? Because it's giving catfish.
Jesse says he looks like a predator when I fought him in 87.
Okay. So
when you got killed by him in the first fucking fight scene, right? You had one line in the movie, sir.
So I spent this entire match just thinking about the fact that, like, only in America would you have in a movie where, like, GI commandos go to the fucking jungles of Guatemala to fight an alien, and not one, but two people in the movie become fucking governors.
Right?
That's actually a great point, yeah. So,
like, what the fuck? Also, What I love about God, Ventura was my favorite part of this whole show, I think. But he spends like so much time just like pushing political shit, like the entire show. He just like calling out like random dictators from around the world.
Yeah. Well, that's a little later in the show when Kip Allen Fry overturned something or whatever it was.
Right.
But so this
at least 3 times in this match, though, he does the Predator thing. Here reminds me of the Predator who I fought in '97. What do you think about that, Jim Ross?
This is also the first. So I had seen a picture of Jushin Liger in Pro Wrestling Illustrated, and I believe it was the annual. So when Stunning Steve Austin was named Rookie of the Year in 1991, they had a picture of Jushin Liger in there because he was blowing up in Japan at the time. And I just thought his mask was so fucking cool. I just wanted to know more about him.
Is it a dragon?
I mean, it's designed after a cartoon character. So
well, it looks
Jushin
like
Liger. Jushin Liger was a cartoon character in Japan, based on a manga, I think, and it ran for 1 season. It wasn't popular.
Oh.
Like the wrestler is more popular than the manga, than the cartoon he's based on. So
Tiger Mask is like that too, isn't he? Like, I mean, I know there's a newer Tiger Mask cartoon.
Yes, Tiger Mask was a manga and a cartoon as well. Yes, that started.
Have you ever
as
seen
a
that more recent one?
No,
that's got like all the New Japan, like Kenny Omega's in it, and Naito's in it, and like
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's like
I know that Kota Ibushi.
Whenever Kenny was, I'm sorry, say it again.
I know that Kota Ibushi wrestled as Tiger Mask one time when it was launched, I think.
Yeah,
he wrestled Okada as Tiger Mask.
It's on, well, it used to be on Pluto all the time. And yeah, I would watch it and it's just bizarre. It's like, holy shit, that's fucking Kenny.
Wow.
And like,
are they doing the
voices?
Are they doing voices?
I don't think they do the voices. No.
Okay.
I just got a headline pop up on my phone. Sorry. Rudy Giuliani hospitalized with broken vertebrae after car accident.
Oh.
So anyway, Jushin Thunder Liger was really sweet, and that mask was fucking cool. I actually have to disagree with you on the Pillman thing. Brian Pillman is the fucking Bengal lamb. I hate his hair at this point.
I love it.
Pillman went from having, this is the worst, but by the time that dude went to WWF, he had the coolest hair. And his tights, honestly, always made me very uncomfortable because I felt like he was just wrestling in his underwear.
He looks like a stripper.
Yeah. And like,
he does.
Well, it was kind of hot.
He just looks like a dude that took his pants off and went to wrestle, which is technically what every wrestler looks like, but these just looked like underwear. Like, wear tights, not underwear.
They're extra small too. They feel extra small.
You mean Arn Anderson in the dumpy white trunks that look like a diaper didn't make you uncomfortable?
The fuck no. Well, I was going to get to that. What made me uncomfortable about Arn, who is later in the show, was the fucking acorn, because you could always make out Arn Anderson's penis, like in fucking detail. And yes, Arn Anderson also made me uncomfortable.
Also, in this particular show, he wears all white, which was a poor choice. Poor decision.
But they seem to be thicker. They seem to be a thicker material because I can't see the acorn in this one. And
okay.
Anyway.
All right.
Okay.
Take it away, Blade.
As I was saying, I saw this picture of Liger in 91, and that's all I had. And as a kid, when something like gets your curiosity just like going like crazy, you don't let it go. Like, I'm like, I got to know more about this Liger dude. I don't have the internet. I don't have shit. So at some point later that year, PWI, he's on the cover of PWI. And it's about this big Tokyo show that he did and that he headlined. And he's in all green, and it's super cool. Then they announced Jushin Liger's coming to WCW, and he's going to wrestle Brian Pillman at the Omni for the light heavyweight title on Christmas Day. I'm not kidding you. I could not wait to see the results of that match. Like, I had to wait a week, and I could not fucking wait. I was so excited, and he won. He beat him. Mm-hmm. And they showed highlights of the match, and I was like, oh my God. He did an acai moonsault. He did all this. He was just as cool as I hoped he would be. And again, I hadn't seen him wrestle. I only thought he looked cool. That's it. And so then when this match was announced, this is why I got the show, is because I wanted to see Liger. I was pretty sure, I was starting to understand wrestling by this point, and so I was pretty sure he was going to lose, because there's like no fucking way they're going to keep this belt on a guy who's like in Japan most of the time, you know? So anyway, this is the best match of the show by a lot. It's actually not even really close. It's a really, really good match. Liger,
Jesse Ventura says, it's the best high-flying aerial match I've ever seen, Jim Ross.
Yes. And
Jim
the
Ross
crowd
also calls a front. He does
Go
like,
ahead.
Liger does like a front flip, and Ross 2 times says, "Look at that moonsault! That's a
Yes.
moonsault!" Like, no,
when he does
this guy did
what
a
is that?
somersault.
What do they call that? When you just do a front flip.
A somersault?
I mean, it is a somersault, but
No, I know.
I forget the name, but yeah, he calls it a moonsault multiple times. I think he just wanted to call a moonsault so bad.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a great
Can
name.
I say, I fucking love the I say this every time we do these old WCW shows, but I love the old rings
Yes.
with the fucking blue or yellow robes, the
Yes.
blue fucking mat and the apron. Just
Yeah.
so goddamn classic. Oh, I love
That-
it.
and that-
You know what I liked about this one? I liked that they did, so they had the blue rope on top, a yellow rope on the bottom, and a black rope in the middle, and it actually almost made it like you could see more of what's going on. Like your brain almost like deletes the black middle rope. Does that make sense?
Kind of.
Yeah,
Kind of.
No, I mean,
Somehow.
it does.
Okay.
Well, you're not focusing on the rope. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they had that. This is that era of that purple, the fucking purple logo with the gold WCW.
Yeah.
Like,
I
mean, this
the
was-
stage looked cool too.
to Blade's point, I mean, I was a little older, but like this was when I was really getting back into wrestling. Like, you know, like it was a fad when I was little and the Hulkamania shit, whatever. And yeah, this is my WCW. When you say WCW, this is what I think of. This is when I was buying trading cards and magazines and like,
I have that
like
whole
this was,
trading card set, by the
what's-
way.
dude, we found a box set of those trading cards like
Yep.
maybe 15 years ago. And we would leave them, and we still do this to this day. This is a great prank to play on your friends. We would leave them throughout people's houses. We would put them in cereal boxes. We would put them in like all over. We'd pop out the case for the CD and put it inside and then put it back in. I have friends who are still finding WCW trading cards like 25 years later.
Why the
I
fuck
love
is there
that.
a PN News in here? I don't understand.
Dude, like, you know, when you get like a CD jewel case and like when you take the disc out and it's clear and there's a picture behind it, you know?
Yes.
Yeah.
We would pop that out and put a card inside. Like,
Yep.
we would put a card, bury it in your cereal box. So you'd have to get to the end of the box before you found it. And just like,
Nice.
fucking Missy Hyatt again.
Yeah. So this match is interesting to me because watching it with 45-year-old eyes instead of 11-year-old eyes, just on a strictly wrestling basis, Pillman is probably one of the best wrestlers in WCW at the time. But Liger outclasses him pretty significantly as far as being smooth.
Yeah.
You can tell Pillman's trying to up his game, and I applaud him for doing so. Like, he really is working hard, a lot harder than he usually has to. He's usually working from underneath, but he's about the same size as Liger. So what was interesting about the light heavyweight idea, this is also the last time this belt would ever mean shit, okay?
Yeah.
Is this match. Pillman would lose it to Scotty Flamingo, who ended up being Raven later. And then he would lose it to Brad fucking Armstrong. Okay. So, like, this belt went nowhere for a very long time after this. But Liger and Pillman really do a lot of mat wrestling in this early on.
They do.
Yeah.
They
And
really
it's-
do.
and it's
more
really-
than you would think for a guy named Flying Brian versus fucking Jushin Liger.
And Jim Ross makes mention that Brian confided in him that he's going to try to keep Liger on the mat because he doesn't want him to be able to do that.
Well, and because Pillman's admitting, like, this guy's a better flyer than me. And so I thought that was great. There was, like, a lot of strategy. I thought it was also very actually refreshing to hear Jesse Ventura call a match without just being a heel to Gorilla Monsoon. Like, he's actually providing some analysis, and it's very good when he does. Like, He's very strategic. There is moments later in the show where he calls out things he really shouldn't be calling out because it's like, dude, you're seeing through the illusion right now. You need to stop doing this. And Jim's like, please fuck off. Please stop doing that. But it's a great match. It's a lot of fun. It's almost 18 minutes long, and Pillman does secure the victory. Liger doesn't go quite as hard on the aerial stuff as you would expect. He doesn't, there's no acai moonsault. There's no, I mean, he invented the shooting star press. Do you guys know that Liger invented the shooting star press? That's his move.
I did not.
He had invented it by this time. He had already done it in Japan, and he doesn't do it. He doesn't do 1/10 of the shit he could do. And I thought that was actually really good, because why show up Flying Brian and then leave? You know what I mean?
Yeah, lose the belt to him.
Right. Lose the belt to him and leave.
I did love in this match, like the big thing that really got me during this match was, they would start working up, a bunch of little combo reversals and stuff, and they would always like end the fucking little series or little whatever you call it, hitting the same thing, They would both go for the drop kick at the same time. They would both hit like a spinning heel kick at the same time. And it was like, it really gave you that feeling of like, okay, these two are like pretty like
evenly matched.
It gave you, who's going to hit that, who's going to hit it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Loved it.
Well, and that they're equivalent in a lot of ways. And I think that this match, I wouldn't say it looks like a match that could have happened on Dynamite, because the wrestling has progressed so much from that. But this is the first time this style is really seen in America on a wide stage. Jushin Liger, this is where you see the depth of his influence. I feel very much, you guys know I'm a huge Sabu mark for the same reason. Sabu comes along just a couple years after this, or a year or two after this, and blows the door wide open in the same way, which is Liger brought something to the U.S. that nobody had seen before, just like Muta had done a couple years before this. So Muta, Liger, Sabu moved the ball forward so much in American wrestling, and we're still seeing its evolution today. And I think in this match, you see where so many things come from. And Liger is influenced by Tiger Mask. Liger is influenced by Dynamite Kid, and you see those influences in him. And again, I think Pillman does an admirable job trying to keep up and extend his work above his usual level to try and show a different gear. And it's a really good match. It's just a really good match.
This match, along with a couple, Bret Hart was kind of coming up at this time. This was the point in my life where wrestling went from being dudes that look like comic book characters to me actually paying attention to the matches. And this match is like, that's where the fucking flip switches, where I'm like, oh, that's what people are talking about. I didn't know the term work rate or anything like that. But
right.
This is where, I started seeing wrestling as it is, So thanks, guys.
This is probably Pillman's biggest win in WCW, aside from maybe some of the Hollywood Blonde stuff. I don't think he ever really had a marquee singles win as big as this. He never beat Luger. He never beat Sting. He never beat Ric Flair.
I mean, it seems like they're kind of building the division around him.
He's the centerpiece.
I mean, right?
He's absolutely the centerpiece. And then Bill Watts comes in and destroys the entire thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
and this is also Bill Watts. Here's the other reason this division falls apart is Bill Watts comes in very shortly after this, like 3 months later, and makes moves off the top rope illegal.
Right.
Which is like, let me see. You have Brian Pillman. You have Ricky Steamboat. And Bill Watts later would say, well, the point wasn't to make the moves so that they never happened. You just had to do them behind the ref's back. And I'm like, so you had to be a heel to fly off the top rope. We all know that's the hallmark of a good heel, is somebody who flies off the top rope onto the very grounded babyface. That makes perfect fucking sense, you goddamn moron. You fucking twat, cunt, human being, piece of shit.
After that, we roll into our next match, which is Alexander Bagwell versus the Tailor-Made Man. And this match came about because on the February 1st episode of World Championship Wrestling, Tailor-Made Man slapped Marcus Bagwell after Bagwell won his match and ordered him to leave the ring so that he could cut himself a little promo. And then 2 weeks later on World Championship Wrestling, Taylor offered to mentor Bagwell. Bagwell says no. So Taylor attacks Bagwell until Greg the Hammer Valentine makes his WCW debut to join in on the attack. And that led us to this little match with Baby Buff. And Hunter Hearst Helmsley, basically.
So the question I have is, if I understand his name is Terry Taylor and it's a joke on the name, but you're the Tailor-Made Man and you are obviously just wearing Ted DiBiase's hand-me-downs. What the fuck? They didn't even try to change the color. They just tore the dollar signs off.
The gimmick.
To me, he just it looked exactly like what Hunter Hearst Helmsley character would become. You know what I mean?
Well, the ponytail is,
the
I think,
green blood. The tight little ponytail.
And this is before the York Foundation, right?
This is because of the York Foundation. So the Tailor-Made Man is a gimmick that is Alexandra York, who would become Marlena later for Goldust. Okay. She is running the York Foundation, and she makes all of the calculations on her little mobile keyboard laptop thing that tells her exactly what to have her wrestlers do in order to win. And the York Foundation eventually grows to include, so it's Terry Taylor, who becomes Terrence Taylor, the Tailor-Made Man, which is very much the $1 Million Man. That's all it is. Yeah. And then Richard Morton, who is Ricky Morton, who turns heel on Robert Gibson in 91. So he's been Richard Morton by this point. And then later includes Thomas Rich, who somebody say something about sophistication and computers and match strategy. So it's a terrible gimmick. The computer is not on most of the time when she's at ringside. She doesn't actually look like she knows how to type, and it's a mess. It's a mess.
Somebody watched Inspector Gadget, and they're like, "Fuck, dude, Penny's got that little
Penny
computer.
and her computer book." Yes. So basically, yes, Alexander York is basically, swimsuit model version of Penny from Inspector Gadget. Yes, and
perfect.
This match is not great. Marcus Alexander Bagwell. Degree, did you get Global Wrestling Federation where you lived?
So the Handsome Stranger?
Yeah! So you saw the Handsome Stranger. Okay. So Marcus Alexander Bagwell
that sounds like a sex thing.
It basically is. It basically is. He was a stripper. He really was.
A Lone Ranger mask.
Isn't that when you sit on your hand before cranking the hog so it numbs your hand?
Now I'm going to think of Marcus Alexander Bagwell every time. Thanks.
Yeah. So
he would go ahead.
He was a legit stripper from the Georgia area, right? And he wrestled in the Georgia area. Then he wrestled in Global as the Handsome Stranger, who was this guy who would come out with a rose and a mask, a little like Zorro,
like a Lone Ranger mask.
Yeah, Lone Ranger mask
or dominant, whatever.
And he would give a rose to somebody in the crowd. And
what a gimmick.
What a gimmick. And I don't remember shit about any of his matches, and watching this match I see why. Because I'm going to say, for a guy who is green as goose shit, okay, which he clearly is, this guy did so many great headlocks. Like incredible.
He's a master of the headlock.
Master of headlocks. There's several points where he gets confused about where he's supposed to be in the ring at various times. Terry Taylor is desperately trying to help him. As a kid, I remember thinking Terry Taylor's got to kill this guy. And when Terry loses, inevitably, I was like, he's done. It's over. Like, this gimmick is going nowhere. He's not moving up the card. I was rooting for him to recover from the Red Rooster shit because even as a 10-year-old, I was like, this gimmick is fucking garbage.
Yeah.
Even in PWI, which was a kayfabe magazine, they're like, the Red Rooster sucks. But I was rooting for Terry. I liked Terry because I thought he was a good worker. I didn't call him a worker. I thought he was a technical wrestler, which is what they called everybody who didn't punch, kick. And so when he lost, I was like, oh, it's over. Yeah, it's over. Like, this guy's going nowhere. It's a terrible match. It's not good.
It is. But for as bad as it is, it's passable.
Like, if it
it is a
been,
match.
Yeah,
like, it is a wrestling match. Things do
was-
happen.
if it had been a dark match, that's where it belonged. It did not
Yes.
belong on a pay-per-view.
No.
Also, it's 7.5 minutes long.
DDP was the dark match in this.
I know, versus
Right.
Big Josh.
Yeah.
Who did Big Josh become?
Doink.
He became Doink, the original Doink. The greatest Doink, by the way.
Right.
And
Dude, when
Yes.
Doink was a heel, man, I was all about that
heel
shit.
Doink,
Like,
when he was feuding with Crush, that was the shit.
That was good stuff.
The shit. The original Doink, fantastic. Matt Bourne, terrible person.
for sure. That's a lot of wrestlers.
I mean,
from that
yes,
era, at least.
he got fired because he's a bad
Yeah.
guy.
I watched The Dark Side of the Ring. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, Jesus
Yeah.
Christ. Sex pest. But yeah, so, I mean, Marcus looks fine. It's just, it's a 7-minute match and he blew up during the 7-minute match.
Right.
So
Yep.
he can't keep up with Terry. And
Terry tries, though, man. He really gives it his best.
Terry has a match with himself, basically. And Marcus is hanging on for dear life.
I
dear
do
life.
love when he gets Marcus in the corner and just like, don't you ever touch my face. And I had a moment where I'm like, is this shoot right now? Like, is he just like giving it to fucking to Bagwell? Oh,
Keep
God.
up, kid.
Well, and then the other thing that they did, and Jesse was trying to help Terry get his heat back at the end after he lost, is Terry beats the shit out of him.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
does.
And then he raises his hand like, look at your winner now. And Jesse goes, that's the winner? And he's like trying to say like Terry kicked his ass. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like this guy, it was a fluke win, So they're
I
trying to
didn't
get
even
Terry his
see
heat
the
back.
pin. It was so fucking quick.
It was so quick.
Well, that
This
was
was-
so
like, did it
what
even
got me
happen?
about the beat down after the match is like it's literally like 1, 2, 3, and then Taylor just immediately starts beating his ass.
Terry also, his finisher is the tailor-made forearm. And that Tito Santana was also using just a flying forearm to finish people off. So Terry immediately, just like within seconds of being pinned, hits him with his forearm. But then he does something to him after that. I can't even remember what it was. Was it a pile driver?
It was a
it
DDT.
a DDT? And that looked so much better than his actual finisher. I was like, dude, you should be doing the DDT. That's what he should have been doing. But Arn Anderson did the DDT. So
But you also can't because Flying Brian's hitting a DDT like
it was
every
not a
third
protected
move in the first match.
It was not a protected move in WCW. And
No.
and that was long before this. Like
Yeah.
Arn used it as a finisher, but other people were doing it. They weren't protecting it ever. Jake was the only guy who did a DDT when he was there in WWF. So it's I found that very interesting when I first started watching wrestling because if you watch WWF, the DDT is like death. If you watch WCW, when Arn Anderson does it, it's kind of almost maybe death. Anyone else is just whatever.
Well, it's kind of the same thing you've got going on like nowadays where AEW, you can hit a pile driver and get a 1 count, whereas WWF, like, you see one pile driver every like 6 months and they like act like it's the biggest like fucking move in the world, which is like, I don't get like the fighting amongst like the fan base for it because it's like it's the same thing as how WCW and WWF were back in the day, and it's just like either you prefer one or the other, and so you watch one or the other, or you watch both and you just understand that it's different fucking universes where this is happening. You know what I mean?
And they have
Like-
different laws. It's like DC and Marvel. It's like, look,
Yeah, exactly.
DC functions differently than Marvel.
For
Like they have
20
diff-
years, there was only one universe. So
Right. And
Yeah.
they have their own set of rules for how their cosmos kind of revolves. And so does AEW and WWE. But like watching these older WCW shows, and this stuff now is talked about like it's the highest, holiest shit that's ever been made. There's tons of comical no-sells in this stuff, like, and by really good performers. Like, there's some stuff later. Bobby Eaton, who is like in my list of like greatest workers of all time, gets hit with a huge move and barely sells it at all. Like, because he's trying to get to the next thing. And that's, Jim Cornette will spend an entire podcast shitting all over somebody in AEW for doing the same thing.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
All right, so we get, after that little stinker of a match, we get a little backstage segment with Missy Hyatt, where Harley Race puts over Lex Luger, and I love that Harley is in a white button-up short-sleeve shirt and a fucking red tie, but he's got this blurry-ass faded, like, fucking forearm tattoo, and he just looks like the biggest fucking dork. Like...
He really just looks like a dude who lives by a shipyard and just
someone
beats
told him
up people at bars and takes their money.
Yeah, someone told him you need to dress nice. The only fucking white shirt he owns.
All right, I'll dress nice, you son of a bitch. Get over here. I got a fucking headlock for you, you fuck.
But next, after that, we get a nice little match.
Hold on. I want to talk about the content of what Harley said because it's really important. So Missy goes, and Missy, by the way, fantastic backstage interviewer.
Love her.
I do genuinely have a crush on Missy Hyatt, this era of Missy Hyatt. I'm still in love with her because it's little kid love. And like, you're just like, ooh, pretty blonde girl, like she's so over the top and bad in so many ways, but but it kind of fits at the same time. So anyway, so she goes to Harley. So what are you going to have the champion do tonight? What's your strategy for tonight? And Harley literally says, Lex Luger is the WCW World Heavyweight Champion because he's the World Heavyweight Champion.
Yeah.
And his name is Lex Luger. And then he goes into the locker room. It's like he just said the same thing twice, but in reverse. Like,
oh, God.
It was awesome because when Harley does it, it's Harley Race. You just accept it.
You listen.
You're just like, all right, okay.
Well, going from that, we had on January 1st, Sting and Ron Simmons defeated Rick Rude and Cactus Jack, one of my Mount Rushmore wrestlers, Mick Foley.
Fuck yeah, man.
After Cactus's ally, Abdullah the Butcher, accidentally hits him with a kendo stick, which led to a little feud between Cactus and the Butcher. On the January 19th, which is mine and Dolly Parton's birthday, episode of Main Event, just put myself over a little bit.
Yeah.
Simmons defeated Cactus via disqualification after Larry Zbyszko interfered, and the Butcher made the save for Simmons, leading to a brawl with Jack and Zbyszko, which then led to Simmons and Cactus competing in several little tag team matches over the course of the next month until the February 8th episode of Worldwide, where it was announced that Simmons would face Cactus in a match at Superbrawl. And so we get into Cactus Jack versus Ron Simmons. And can I just say how rad fucking Ron Simmons looked like in this era?
Cool as shit, dude.
He had like the fucking burgundy pants with the yellow like lightning bolt going down the side. Almost
it's
like
the Florida
like,
Seminoles colors.
Yeah. And he had the coolest fucking entrance music, man. It was like that 80s like sports type theme, but there was the fucking saxophone in his theme song ripped. There's few things in life I love more than a ripping like Clarence Clemens saxophone solo. Like, oh, what a star.
Every WCW song during this time felt like it was made on the same day by the same person using the same drum machine. Every single song, every single one of them is produced exactly the same. I'm not saying they all sound the same, but I had totally forgotten Ron's song. And then the minute I heard it, I was like, oh, I had like PTSD. I'm like, here we go. No. But also Cactus Jack's music. What the fuck? It's just like this weird dirge. That I couldn't tell if that was his original music or not, because I know later he had different music. But when he turns babyface later, he has like this kind of like rockin' theme. But like this was just like this was deeply uncomfortable when he comes out, and
it was.
And this match,
well, I think it was supposed to be, because this was when he was like, he's kind of like Cactus Jack Manson. You know what I mean?
Right. He had been Cactus Jack Manson in his first WCW run. Then he left. When he came back, they had to get rid of Manson because that was not okay with Turner for him to be called Cactus Jack Manson. So he's just Cactus Jack. I was going to give a little background. Degree, I'm sure you remember this. Sting had been receiving gifts. And
the boxes.
Sting had been receiving gifts, and the first one was Abdullah the Butcher. And he was in a big ass box that was gift wrapped. And he came out and caned the living shit out of Sting. This is the original Singapore cane guy, is Abdullah. By the way, Abdullah, pants pulled up to his considerable double D tits. Incredible. I forgot.
Flopping over.
Just floppy tits, just all over the place.
Yep.
But I was also going to say, Cactus Jack came out of a box too. And he came out, he did that. Oh, this is the match with the no-sell. So he came out of the box to attack Sting as well. And him and Abdullah were a team. And then they did that 1991, they did the Chamber of Horrors match, which is always on everybody's list of like, this is a bad idea, don't ever do this, right? Where Abdullah gets electrocuted by Cactus by mistake. Then they end up having a parting of the ways, and somehow Abdullah the Butcher, for the first time I think ever, is a babyface, which makes no sense, okay? No sense at all. But Cactus and Abdullah are feuding. Cactus gets into a mini feud with Heavy Metal Van Hammer. And they have a match at the Clash of the Champions. That's the first Falls Count Anywhere match I think I ever saw. Abdullah tries to hit Cactus, and he hits Van Hammer. Cactus pins Van Hammer. It's his first big win, singles win in WCW. They're still feuding. And then Cactus accidentally fucks up in a cage match later with Rick Rude. And they turn on Cactus. Cactus is kind of a man without a country. He's not really a babyface. He's not really a heel. And this match has a very significant development with Abdullah later. But Ron takes that big elbow from Cactus Jack from the second turnbuckle to the outside and sells it for approximately 4 seconds. I was like, dude, Ron, you stay on the fucking ground for a minute. You know, I'm not sure if they were rushing or what the deal was, but Ron did not sell this enough. He really needed to sell it a lot more.
I do love too. We get the head caught in the rope spot from
that
Cactus.
Was sick, dude.
Like right
30
off
seconds
the
in.
Fucking bat. Yeah, like right off the bat. Love that. I also love Nick Patrick he had to have been hopped up on fucking something, because there is a part where Cactus he forget the movie does, but he takes Ron down and goes to pin him, and Nick Patrick flies over the top of them to get in front of the head for the count, and I couldn't stop laughing my ass off. I've never seen a ref work that hard in my life.
Nick Patrick and his weird little counts where his arm doesn't go up very high, and it's just this like snap, snap, snap. You're like, he's fucking great in this.
Dude, every ref on this show was like that on this show. Like every ref it seemed like they were just trying to get the fucking, the count.
We got to get this done.
It was crazy. Yeah. But so then we get to the end of the match where we get Junkyard Dog. They've been showing Junkyard Dog like in the crowd. He's got his little tuxedo on.
In a fucking tux. And Jesse says, "Is he a waiter?"
Check this out. So after the match, Junkyard Dog comes down because Cactus and Abdullah or whatever join force. Abdullah comes down. Right. They join back together. Cactus and Abdullah do. They're beating up Rod. So Junkyard Dog comes.
Hold on, but Brett, Abdullah walks down smiling, which I've never seen him do before, and that was terrifying. Like, what is this big-titted man gonna do? Like, he's like, walking down like a little bobblehead with a big smile on his face. And then you think he's going to go for Cactus, but he just starts caning the living shit out of Ron Simmons.
Yeah. And so Junkyard Dog takes his absolute fucking time getting to the ring, walking through the crowd. And I love because once he gets over the barricade, you realize that he's wearing a white tuxedo coat with a white shirt and a red little bow tie. But then he's just wearing like some dungaree blue jeans. And at one point in the beatdown, he ends up taking off his jacket and his shirt, but he's just in jeans and a red bow tie. Like.
Yeah.
And a cummerbund.
You really didn't need to take the coat off. I was like, why? Oh, you don't. Oh, nobody wants that.
Oh, my God. It was so good.
I think my favorite part was that dude in the brown that was chewing cud had better seats than Junkyard Dog.
A lot of people did.
You couldn't have given JYD a front, even maybe just second
I
row.
know. He was like back there, man.
He showed up in a tux.
So Ron Simmons would win the world title later this year. This was the year that Ron wins the world title. Mm-hmm. He looks so just prime at this point.
He does. He looks like a, in the words of Don Callis, he looks like a stud.
Yeah. Well, and he's gassed to the gills, most likely. But he doesn't look too big. Some people look too big.
No, he looks great. He looked very much like the character he was supposed to be. You know,
right?
Like former football star, fucking all-star athlete. He looked great, and I even loved his little headband that he wore in this era.
So let me ask you this
Simmons
though,
fan for sure.
Ron Simmons, looking like as cut as a human being can get, right, in peak athletic form. Needs the help of this way past his prime man in a white tuxedo who comes down to the ring with these little kid looking punches that look so low effort. These headbutts that I mean, JYD has literally added nothing to his entire repertoire for like 12 years by this point.
Well, I think this is the thing about like when you get into like the early to mid 90s in pro wrestling is like you still had this crossover of like the older style workers, you know, where it was like slow moving punches and not a lot of like hoorah. And you had them mixing it up with these like new breed of athletes who could go 1,000 miles an hour, hit like 3 moves in 30 seconds, and so a lot of it like looked really weird together. Like, you know, as much as like it was, you know, that match, you know, where later on down the line where like Rock has a match with Hogan that you know, it was a great match at WrestleMania, but it's like you have Hogan trying to go like square up against these dudes who could just fly circles around him, but they have to, you know, make his stuff still seem legit. But it just looks, to me, it always looked so goofy because you know that like, well, this guy does 4 leg drops in a match and they do nothing, and like Hogan hits 1 leg drop and a match is over. Like,
go watch Okada versus Genichiro Tenryu in his last match.
Oh yeah.
If you want to see a guy whose stuff does not look convincing whatsoever, Tenryu can't move anymore. Like, it's really bad.
Yep.
And Okada's like selling like he's dead. You know, like Oh, it's great.
This is a few years ago at this point, obviously, but a buddy of mine used to work for High Spots. So he would set up at indie shows he would sell merch, right? For High Spots. Abdullah the Butcher is working a show in the Detroit area. I don't know where. I don't know if Abdullah was wrestling, but Abdullah was definitely bleeding at this show because he walks up to the merch table. He looks at my buddy Chris and he looks at the big gold, the replica of the big gold, and he says, I'm taking that home. And Chris says, well, you know, they're for sale. And Abdullah says, well, I'm going to take that home. So Chris says, hold on. The place where they're doing the show is in like a little strip mall. He runs to a dollar store next door, buys a bunch of little hand towels, little white hand towels, like 100 pack or whatever. Comes back in. He says, "Here, wipe your head on these and autograph them." So Abdullah the Butcher sits there, wipes his head, signs it, wipes his head, signs it, and walks home with a big gold belt. And I, for about 15 years, was the proud recipient of a little white hand cloth with a black Sharpie scribble and some crusted old blood in my home. Very proud
Some
owner
Hep
of that.
C blood. Yeah, very nice.
That was eventually that. So when I moved in with my wife, that actually that got thrown out.
Yeah, she's like, "What the fuck is this?" Yeah.
I was like, "Well, this is this wrestler, and he was famous for bleeding, and he had hepatitis." She's like, "Okay, let's burn it. Let's get rid of it."
Let's get it the fuck out of here. Don't even put it in the don't even put it in the garbage. We're burning this.
Pro wrestling fucking rules.
That's right.
What other
world?
Yeah, what other world do you have people geeking out over? Like, I got a towel with some blood on it.
What a smart move, though. Like, hey, I'm gonna make the money for this belt somehow. So, like,
he's a businessman. Dude,
that's
owns a comic
smart.
shop back
That's
home.
smart. That was really smart.
Yeah, Comics and More in Ferndale. You should all go shop there.
Fuck yeah! If I'm
you
ever
go.
there, yeah.
So we're moving right along into our next match, which is Richard Morton and Vinny Vegas, who everyone will come to know as Kevin Nash later on, Big Sexy Diesel, versus Heavy Metal Van Hammer, who looks like Dee Snider cosplaying as Stevie Ray Vaughan. Comes out with his fucking guitar, and Z-Man, who Ventura calls Zinc the entire match.
Tom Zink.
Yeah.
His name's Z-Man because his last name starts with Z.
And is this?
Oh, is that it? I didn't know. I never knew.
Is this like a?
That's okay.
Like a WCW, like a diet WWF era, because like they never call him Tom Zank, they never call Terry Taylor. Like they only use their code names. I notice, which seems like a very WWF thing to me.
I think it is their attempt to have more kid-friendly gimmicks, and they are trying to broaden their fan base from more like those Southern traditionalists. I think the majority of fans of NWA, WCW were adults, and so at least adults were a big part of it, and they wanted to reach the kids market so that they had some kind of bulwark against McMahon, because that's what he was going for. Is if you get the kids, their parents have to spend the money. So like, you know, that's the strategy.
Is when the toys
right?
start coming in, and this is where the trading cards start coming in. And
well, I mean,
so it makes sense.
We were talking about it the last WCW show we did, where it seemed like everybody's name was like Beautiful Bobby. You had like Studding Steve, Flying Brian, like you know what I mean. Everyone had their little code.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this match sucks.
It did, but let me tell you how we got this match. So Barry Windham had
There's a story?
Oh wait, no, I'm thinking of a different match.
Yeah, you're on the next match, friend.
There's a story for another match, but not.
Oh
this
no,
one.
there was there. Yeah, there was. No, maybe there wasn't.
It's Van Hammer and Z-Man. There is no fucking story here.
No, and
I don't know why I already forgot what match we're talking about. But
there's a good reason.
D. Snyder and fucking Disco Doug versus Ricky Morton and Kevin
I wanted
Nash.
to like Van Hammer as a kid. He looked cool.
I did too.
I thought.
Yeah.
What's that?
I did too. Yeah.
Yeah, he looked cool as shit. His gear was cool. He had
Yeah.
cool hair, but like he's bad. Like he's exceptionally bad.
Yeah.
Richard Morton is a bad guy who still looks like a good guy. Like he didn't change anything up from the rock and roll dude.
He no longer has like the cotton tights. He's got the shinier tights.
Sure.
And
He's got the Young Buck special.
Right.
yeah,
That means
he's got
a
the
bad
Young
guy.
Bucks
With
thing.
the frill around the boots and
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the Rock and Roll Express look still.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's a terrible match, and like everybody is so Hammer is really uncoordinated. Vinny Vegas just throw punches, and at one point, Z-Man is trying to do the like stomp, stomp, clap, stomp, stomp, right? Like We Will Rock You, and he can't fucking find the rhythm. It's like a song that was designed to. Yeah, like, hey man, we created this song to make it so easy that everyone could do it. Everyone could sing along. Everyone could stop. And Z-Man can't find the fucking rhythm.
I love too fucking Kevin Nash just wrestling in fucking slacks, a button-up fucking shirt, and suspenders.
Formerly a member of the Stud Stable as well. He had already been managed by Diamond Dallas Page as Vinny Vegas.
Right.
And he just didn't. Diamond Dallas Page just started being a wrestler. Scott Hall left. But the Stud Stable was literally Diamond Dallas Page, the Diamond Stud, and Vinny Vegas. So it was DDP, Scott Hall, and Kevin Nash. I mean, that's wild to think about now.
Yeah.
You know? But the dynamic of this match is just, I feel so fucking bad for Ricky Morton. Like, he's got to make sense of all this. Like,
and he's trying, man.
He really, really was.
Much love to my guy, Ricky Morton, man. Like, he was so fucking good. He's still so fucking good. He's still the shit. Like, I love Ricky so much. But to see Tom Zink as an adult, they did give him a moment where he was the television champion. He beat Arn Anderson. And even as a kid, I never liked Z-Man. Never. I just thought, I talk about a guy who looks like a fucking stripper. You know what I mean? He looks like...
Yeah.
He just looks like Bischoff. If Bischoff was a fucking stripper, oh my God, Blade is on the ground. Blade is literally ROFLing
on the ground, giving a 3 count to himself here.
He just like if you cut a Z out of a T-shirt and put it on Bischoff, that would be Z-Man, right?
To me, he looked like. You guys ever see that fucking? I don't know why, but
it's so rare. But like when I can fucking make Blade fucking cry like that, I love it.
It's so true. I had never thought about it. It's so cheap. Just looks like Bischoff.
Every time I saw him during this fucking thing, all I was thinking about was John Leguizamo in that fucking Son of Sam movie that Spike Lee made. Like, that's all I saw the entire fucking match. That and Dee Snider.
Oh well, and so this was interesting. Which
Ventura actually said. He said, they call him Van Hammer, but to me, he looks more like Twisted Sister.
Well, so he says he's calling out to Aerosmith. He's calling out to whatever like band he thinks is hip at the moment, and then he's like, but in appearance, he looks more like Twisted Sister.
But he also calls him Van Halen later.
He says Aerosmith and Van Halen is what he says. Right. And then is this the match where Jim Ross starts needling at Jesse for being the mayor of a mini town?
I don't remember. I think it might have been.
Yeah.
But did you notice that Jesse's
he's not the governor at this point, right?
No,
he's not governor. Okay. He's the mayor of Brooklyn Park, Minnesota, which is, I don't even think it's an elected position. It's just like you're on the board and the board elects you. My hometown is the same way. Puyallup, Washington. The mayor's just chosen by a board.
Puyallup?
Puyallup, yeah.
How do you spell that?
Puyallup.
Wow.
And most people call it Puyallup or something like that. It's a Native American name that means the generous people.
I grew up in Santee, California, which is nicknamed Clanty.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
I was friends with somebody who had a band called Santee.
Oh.
Yeah. But
also
I think she's...
plumbing, I forget what they're called now. Fitting.
The hard way.
What?
We are educating.
We are educating. It's short for sanitary tea. You know, under the sink when you've got like the in the trap, you've got like that. You know, it's like a T shape kind of, but it curves. It's called a sanity. It's a sanitary tea.
When we're done recording, I have some plumbing questions for you, and I don't
know.
want to bore everybody.
Why don't we
with
just
them
ask
right
them now? Why don't we just ask them now?
Yeah.
One of my sinks, when I turn on the hot water, if I turn it on more than like halfway, it starts making this knocking noise, tong 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 tong, and then sometimes it just cuts out completely. Someone told me it's like a water hammer or something. Does this sound familiar to you? What do I need to do?
Yeah, get a water hammer arrestor installed in that line.
Okay. So I just buy one of these and it's like called that?
Well, yeah, you can either get one you're going to have to know how to solder if you have copper.
Oh, fuck, no.
Oh, okay. Well, I would just call a plumber then.
Shit. Okay.
We're kind of the same guy, Degree. I really
you're
do
gonna
appreciate
be moving
that.
to the area, right?
Yeah. I'll come. I'll do your plumbing for free.
Fantastic.
No, I mean, you can look up on YouTube how to fucking solder a copper joint. It's pretty easy.
The hard way, folks, where it doesn't matter if you came here for something about WCW, Jushin Liger. It doesn't matter if you came here to fix the fucking pipe underneath your sink. We're going to help you do it. We're not a one niche podcast. We are many niches.
Yeah, we cover it all.
And if you know how to fix it and you want to leave a comment in the comment section, it will help with the engagement. So please do.
Yeah, please do.
Smash that subscribe button.
Water hammer arrestor. You can get one for like $10.
I'm going to tag Water Hammer Arrestor in the YouTube video. Just try and boost those.
At least we're not talking about Van Hammer anymore.
Yeah.
I'd actually rather talk about this, to be honest. The Water Hammer Arrestor.
Let's talk about this one. We got.
This is where it starts getting good.
So this is the one I actually started trying to skip into.
Yes, you were Trump. You were like disassociating into this match. Yes.
Well, because I kept thinking about. Well, I'll tell you. But okay, so this is Barry Windham and Dustin Rhodes versus stunning Steve Austin, pre-Stone Cold, and Larry Zbyszko. And Barry Windham had quite a fucking time leading up to this match, right? So at Halloween Havoc, he was supposed to be on Abdullah's team in the Chamber of Horrors match, but the Enforcers, which is Zbyszko and Anderson, slam a car door in his hand, like right when he shows up. And Zbyszko loves it so much, he gives himself the nickname of the Cruncher. And so anyway, Windham is also then scheduled at Clash of Champions XVII. What is that? What number is that?
That is 17 to
team with Dustin against the Enforcers for the tag team championships. But because of his injury, he gets replaced by Ricky Steamboat, and Windham doesn't come back until the December 14th episode to dispute a call after Arn and Bobby Eaton cheated to defeat Michael Hayes and Jimmy Garvin and was attacked by members of the Dangerous Alliance. Wyndham would then frequently team with Steamboat and Rhodes to feud with members of the Dangerous Alliance throughout the following months until the February 8th episode of Worldwide, where it was announced that Wyndham and Rhodes would take on Steve Austin and Larry Zbyszko. And I just love anyone who gives themselves a nickname.
The Cruncher.
Yes.
That was
Not
the best
to be confused with the Crusher.
Right?
Okay. So
my band, I used to have a band. Did you ever hear the song The Crusher? Do the hammer lock.
No.
Do the eye. I used to cover it. It was pretty good.
That's sweet.
Little garage rock song.
Wow. So this was an interesting time in WCW, and it was actually a really great time because Halloween Havoc 91 is not a very good show, except for one really notable thing that happens, which is the Halloween Phantom debut.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he's managed by Paulie Dangerously. And the Phantom comes out, and it's immediately clear that it's Rick Rude. And he wrestles the Z-Man. And he squashes the Z-Man dead. Kills him. Just as the Z-Man deserves. And after the match, he takes off his mask and reveals. Everybody's like, "Oh, yes, we know it's Rick Rude."
Yeah, because didn't he have a mask on that Like you could see his mustache through the mask.
You could see his fucking mustache. Like this was like Black Scorpion, Ric Flair's Under the Mask level of suspense. So 2 months later, Paulie Dangerously reveals that he's formed a group. And he reveals the Dangerous Alliance. And they all come out one by one. And he reveals them one by one. And it's Rick Rude, which we all knew. It's Medusa, the director of covert operations.
That's awesome.
Yeah, director of covert operations. That was dope. It's Arn Anderson. It's Larry Zbyszko. It's stunning Steve Austin. And the last person was the only guy who had been a babyface to this point, which was beautiful Bobby Eaton. And it broke my heart because Beautiful Bobby was my favorite, and he was a babyface at the time. Aww. And I got sad that he became a heel again. The Cruncher, so Larry and Arn had been the tag champions as the enforcers. They lost them to Steamboat and Dustin Rhodes when Barry couldn't be Dustin's partner. And then this begins the feud of like what would become Sting, Steamboat, Barry, Dustin, and
leading up to that War Games, right?
And Nikita Koloff. Yes, leading up to that War Games.
That War Games.
The best one.
Which is a fucking amazing War Games. Yeah, I think it actually might. I mean, I know it's like sacrilege to talk poor against like the Horsemen or Dusty, but it's like, I think that one's actually better. The fucking Dangerous Alliance one is incredible. Whose head was stuck in between the two rings?
Arn.
Yes. Arn. Okay. Thank you. Go on.
No, I look, that's the best War Games. I don't care what anybody says. Like,
it's amazing.
It's better than most of the current iterations. Like, it's so good. It's so good.
Yeah,
and that would be about 3 months after this show at Wrestle War. But
okay.
So, yes. So Dustin and Barry had been feuding with the Dangerous Alliance for a long time. And Barry had finally come back, and this was his chance to get revenge on Larry Zbyszko particularly. But Arn obviously had assisted in the chicanery as well, but he's in another match with the Steiners. So this match I thought was really, really fun.
I liked it.
I love Barry Windham. I'm a big Barry Windham mark.
Yes.
That man is just gigantic. He is just a giant man.
There's a point. It's obviously it's got to be before this. Blade, help me out here. Barry might have been a heel and he turned face like when he first started aligning. And I remember the vaguest memory. And obviously, I'm going to misquote this, but he's got the one black fingerless glove, and he says, basically, without saying it, he's like, I used to be a heel and now I'm a face, but he uses some different terms. And he's like, but I haven't changed. The only thing different is who I'm fighting. Like, I'm still a fucking bad guy. I'm still going to cheat. I'm still going to hurt you. I'm just fighting these guys now, And I just thought that was the coolest thing when I was a kid. Like, what a great line,
Yeah, he becomes kind of a mentor. Like, he's only
Dustin.
Slightly baby-face-ish. But he's Dustin's mentor, basically, and
he's Stone Coldish.
Yeah, and he's a brawler, badass cowboy dude who also, fights the guys you don't like. So
he's fucking cool.
Shortly after this, I think him and Steve Austin have like 2 incredible matches on Saturday night, where Barry wins the TV title and then loses it back to Steve Austin. This was just a great year because of the Dangerous Alliance, basically. The Dangerous Alliance was the coolest thing since the Four Horsemen, and it just didn't last long enough because Paulie gets fired by super anti-Semitic Bill Watts.
Fantastic.
That's the real story, yeah.
Fan-fucking-tastic.
There's so I have my notes here, and fucking Barry and Dustin are all legs, lanky ass Texan dudes. These dudes are 99% legs, and then like little bodies with long arms. Jesse at one point says, maybe one of you guys should say this because you do a better impression, but you can tell Medusa's been to the gym. Her chest looks great.
Yeah.
You had to get that in there.
The way he says it is just so like deadpan though. He's like, you can tell she's been going to the gym because her chest looks great.
And my other favorite point is when Dustin tries to break Larry's hand, and Jesse says, "There's no place for vengeance like that in pro wrestling."
Jesse is such a great like gaslighting fucking
Dude
commentator. Like,
You
it's
gotta
so
buy
funny.
that cowboy hat, Jim Ross.
Yeah, it's so funny because when you look at it through contemporary lens, he's just gaslighting everybody all the time. Like, he's just, well, no, this isn't about before. This is about right now. That's all that matters. He says that during the Steamboat Rick Rude match.
But I used to love him when I was a kid. Like when Hogan, like you'd see, like I remember Hogan versus Slaughter, and Hogan like uses a camera or he grabs a cable from the ground. He starts choking Slaughter. And I used to love that because I didn't really like Hogan at that point. And Jesse would be
Hogan,
like, he's cheating. He's cheating. Look at him. He's a cheater. And I always thought that was like that's when Jesse was cool. You know?
Yes. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
That was before him and Alex Jones went to the North Pole to find the fucking liberal weather dominator.
Oh, God.
Remember that show they used to do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, fuck that dude.
Yeah.
My other favorite part of the match is when Larry Zbyszko catches Wyndham in the solar plexus with a spinning karate kick. And the solar plexus is his stomach. Apparently.
Yeah. The other thing, okay. So Larry, apparently, I didn't know this, okay, but like in the dirt sheets in the 80s, Larry was very hated upon for some reason. Larry, in my opinion, was fucking great. Like, great worker, always drew heat. Even, I mean, he ended up getting a shitload of heat as an announcer on Nitro years later. Like, and getting huge Larry chants, for Christ's sake. He wasn't even that good of an announcer. But, like,
no.
He was very good in this match at just selling and getting his ass kicked. Also, Barry at one point has him on that ramp. And this is a cool ramp, okay? Because it just goes straight from the stage all the way to the ring.
Big fan of ramps.
It's a big drop off from that ramp to the floor. And Barry just grabs Larry by the back of the hair, like by the hair on the back of his head, and just jumps off the ramp. And Larry has to jump and gets rammed right into the railing. Like, it looked terrible. It looked like it really, really hurt. Steve Austin, this dude always had it. He always had it. Okay? Yeah. Like, what a fucking worker he is in this match. He is bumping his ass off. He is moving his ass. He is a big fucking dude, too.
Yeah. And he's not all punch kick here. Like, he's fucking wrestling. I was a big fan back then. Like, he was one of those dudes that was new. He wasn't established, and I was a newish fan. So it was kind of like he was my guy. You know what I mean? It was the dude, like, he was on his way up, and it was like, that's who I attached to. And yeah, then when he ended up becoming the biggest fucking star in the whole universe, you know, like, it was
hardly surprising.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, like, I'm the same as you. Like, I remember when he came into WCW, he literally beat my guy, Beautiful Bobby, for the TV title in like his second match on television. And I actually didn't mind because I'd been reading about him in PWI. When he was in Texas, and he was in Tennessee when he was in Memphis feuding with Chris Adams. And so, he had stolen Chris Adams' wife. And they basically did the Benoit Kevin Sullivan story, but it was also real, just like the Benoit Sullivan story. And so I didn't mind that he won because I actually really liked him. And that was before I realized he was balding too. So it was, I thought his hair even looked cool. I just thought he had a gigantic forehead like I do. And so
I have a very similar forehead, Blade.
Yeah. You also have no hair. So, I
bald.
do. So, yeah. Bald. Anyway, so Austin this guy could just fucking go, man. Yeah. Like, he's better than Dustin Rhodes at this point. He's hanging with, and he's been wrestling a shorter amount of time. He's hanging with Barry Windham, who's the best worker in this match. And it's just a fun tag team match. It's a grudge match. and Dustin and Barry get the win. It's just a revenge match, and it was really well done. And Zbyszko had slotted into that guy in the team who takes the losses for the team kind of spot, which was appropriate.
I just hated Dustin's boots the whole match. They just looked so fucking goofy.
The cowboy boots?
Yeah, he looked so much like his dad, though.
Oh,
in
yeah.
this era, like out of him and the Code Man, like Dustin to me always looked like a fucking Rhodes.
Oh, he sure did.
Yeah, it's very clear who his father is.
Yes.
We roll into a very racist segment backstage with Missy Hyatt trying to get an interview with Steamboat, but the ninja that has been with Steamboat won't let her. And I don't think we really need to talk about much of this because he won't let her, and it's a whole racist thing.
Well, and do an impersonation of the ninja would be racist because the ninja itself is racist.
Yeah, we're not
They
gonna do
do
that.
open Steamboat's. They do open the door to Steamboat's dressing room, and he's got. Go ahead.
Yeah, the ritual. Like
He's got
flash
some big-
paper and candles or something.
They're like, look, you were doing that dragon gimmick in WWF for a minute there, so can we get something out of that? Can we make something out of that?
He's a martial arts expert.
He's a martial arts expert. He's meditating with fire. I'm not really sure. But then Medusa does come up and talks to him in the very racist Japanese way, which is interesting because Medusa's actually already been to Japan and wrestled and lived in Japan for an extensive period of time by this point. So, yeah, that's it.
Well, from there, we go into your World Tag Team Championship match. We are getting into the Steiners, who at that point, up to this point, had never been pinned, like in a match. They'd been 91 Tag Team of the Year and had been the champions, but the only reason they had to give up the belts was because Scott got injured, had to go get surgery. But they're taking on the current champions of the Enforcer, Arn Anderson, and Bobby, beautiful Bobby, with Paul E. Dangerously, who is immediately barred from ringside. Yeah. Immediately. And I love the way he sells how pissed he is. Two refs have to drag him up the ramp, and he's just...
It was great. It was really good. It was really good.
It was super fucking good. So,
did you guys catch?
Oh man,
go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say the Steiners. They just look great always in this era,
dude. Roids.
So did you guys catch? I love it. And again, back to like the whole Steve Austin, being your guy when you're a kid. The thing with the Steiners was when, before the match, Bischoff is running down their list of accomplishments and he says state high school champions, because they went to my high school. And I don't know if you guys caught it, but Jim Ross says they must be proud at Bay City Western because that's my fucking high school.
Okay.
So,
Nice.
Okay. And their awards are still up. I mean, the shit that they did, their trophies and all that stuff was still there. So when you talk about your guy, holy fucking shit, we love the Steiners. I mean, the Steiners, their dad owned a fucking store in town, and like, oh, I heard they're in town for Christmas. We should ride around on our bicycles and try to find them or whatever. We were so excited for that.
But why does Rick wear two different boots?
I don't know, but he got another pair. I get in the closet.
And then he's like, why doesn't he just
swap the left ones?
He didn't even get JR's joke. He didn't even get it.
Yeah.
And then, okay. So,
I know Bladey wants to talk about this ending so bad.
No, we'll get there. But Paulie gets hauled off. Okay. And he's great. Like you said, he plays it up perfectly. Like he's
Medusa, I love her just rolling around the ring the whole match.
Can we just say this is peak Medusa as far as like
big time?
My God, she was a gorgeous woman. Jesus Christ. Anyway, so yes, so you have two of the best tag team wrestlers who are real life best friends, which is Bobby Eaton and Arn Anderson. Okay. Ask Arn Anderson about Bobby Eaton and watch him try not to cry, right? Like these guys were best friends in real life. And you got one half of the Horsemen
He'd shoot
tag.
a guy for Bobby Eaton, you would say.
Probably, yeah. You have one half of the Four Horsemen's tag team with Tully Blanchard, and you have one half of the Midnight Express as a tag team. That was pretty cool, right?
Clock Anderson.
And so you have that, and then you have the Steiners. Jesse is completely wrong. The Steiners absolutely have been pinned several times before this. Okay, they have lost many times. It's actually comical because Jesse says it so definitively, and Jim knows he's wrong, but he just doesn't correct him. So he's like, all right, okay.
Yeah, because Jim is calling a forward roll moonsault, so he knows he's got no. He's got no.
Good.
Yes.
Jesse Ventura is my favorite part of the show.
So the other thing this is where they get really deep into college football, and Jim Ross and Jesse Ventura go from being wrestling commentators to being insufferable dicks who I don't give a shit about because they just jab each other about college sports and about Jesse literally saying every professional athlete that he personally knows. And Jim
Predator.
Ross diminishing that same person over and over and over again. It's absolutely insufferable to listen to because I don't care about any of it. And Jim Ross is like, oh, yeah, well, he doesn't have much job security right now. And the Steiners went to school, like Brett, we've talked about Jim Ross's unique pronunciation of the word school.
He said it like Marsha Brady.
Yeah, skill. And these two just are jabbing at each other in a way that does feel personal when you really think about it. It's not people who are like playfully trying to be entertaining. They're getting on each other's nerves. And I think it's funny, honestly. It was 35 years ago. Who gives a shit? But Degree, what was your thought on the actual match?
The match itself?
Yes.
I mean, I thought it was a good match. I mean, those guys are all great. It was a lot of suplexes. It was a lot of suplexes. And then there was a lot more suplexes. And I get that they suplex guys a lot. But there was a lot of suplexes.
Seemed kind of extra in this one,
There was a great spot, though, where Arn and Bobby had Scott in kind of like a double wrist lock kind of thing, and fucking Steiner backflips out of it and arm drags both of them. Right. And then Rick comes in and just fucking clotheslines them both over the ropes. And Jesus Christ, like this thing Scott Steiner could do at the size he was at that time is unfucking real.
Yep.
Yeah, and both of those guys just pop when they move. Like they're so fast and so much power behind it. And presumably they're just clotheslining you for real because it looks seriously real.
If they respect you, they don't. If they don't, if you're a jobber, they will kill you. They will murder you. They will put you in the ground.
I've seen those matches. And there's a point in it that I thought was cool where Jim Ross mentions Terry Gordy and Steve Williams potentially. And they mentioned it throughout the night with like Kay Allen Fry is scouting Japan right now. And I mean, Gordy and Williams, those matches with the Steiners are
They're
fucking
so
cool.
Good. The Miracle Violence Connection, baby.
A lot of fighting on the ramp. I'm looking at my notes here. A lot of fighting on the ramp. That one part where Bobby had Scott in a camel clutch and he's like, and it's not like a cool move or anything, but it's just a cool moment. And he's like struggling like he's walking through quicksand, but he makes it to the corner and gets the tag. Like, I like that stuff, Steiners are cool.
The other spot, Bobby, a real one to the end, is on the ramp with Scott, gets bounced off the ropes like they're in the ring, but Bobby runs back at Scott and takes a tilt-a-whirl fucking suplex on the fucking ramp.
Yeah.
Like, show me how he sold that, guys. Like,
I don't the ramp a lot.
It was crazy. This ramp they got their money's worth for this ramp.
Yeah.
I was gonna say this venue, pretty cool, honestly. When
they showed the upper balcony area, it was awesome.
Yeah.
It looks kind of like a little Coliseum vibe.
Exactly. Yeah. I love those kind of I think those are my favorite venues to see wrestling in, you know? Like, that's why I love when AEW does, like, old theaters and stuff with, like, balconies and whatnot. It just looks so of a time.
If you want to look sexy as fuck, go to sickosclub.com/merch and get you some.
I'm sure this place has been torn down, but if it hasn't, AEW should book it next time they're in Milwaukee because it's kind of perfect for a Dynamite. Like, it would look great in there. If they did like a combined taping, like do a Collision Dynamite taping together so you can sell as many tickets as possible.
Sure.
And get 5,000 people into this place because they probably actually wouldn't have to get 5,000 people because they have a bigger set than what WCW used here. But
do you think Dahmer had ever been inside that arena?
Yeah.
And he was there that night.
Probably.
True.
His name's Tony Schiavone.
Was he? What year did Dahmer get caught?
Probably 93.
Oh, he could have absolutely been there.
Yeah, he could have been there.
Yeah.
Do you guys know what the deal was? Sorry, segue. Why did the WCW sign on the stage? Like, why was it only 3/4 of a sign? It's not the only pay-per-view that looks like that.
I don't know.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It's like the bottom is clipped. Could they just not afford it? Did it break?
It's like the Stonehenge thing from
maybe
Spinal Tap.
Maybe it was like so
I
that
thought it was sitting on something at first, but it's not.
Yeah.
Well, that's
there.
probably why, is so it could stand up.
It was probably ordered during the Ole Anderson era where he was running WCW, and he's like, "Nope, I know it's not right, but we're going to use it. Fuck you,
fuck it.
you know, fuck you, you piece of shit." So this match, I will be honest, is with all the participants in it, I remembered it being a little better. I thought it was good, not great.
It's got good moments.
Yeah. It's got a lot of good moments. It's got some things that go a little bit awry that don't look good, and it's nobody's fault, really. Like when Arn has Rick Steiner on his shoulders, and Bobby does a flying body press towards Rick, but Rick just falls backwards instead of like power slamming Bobby, which is the intention. But then Bobby sells it like he got power slammed, even though it looks like he just hit a flying body press on Rick, and then Rick covers Bobby. Didn't look good. However, they do a modified Dusty finish for this match that I thought was hilarious. So,
because it was.
You know, real quick before you get into that, I wonder if growing up with this era and like what you just described, this fuck up move.
Yep.
Like, I wonder if that's why I give so much leeway to wrestlers. You know what I mean? Like, people nowadays nitpick, not nowadays, they always have, but when people nitpick things, or like, I always thought the "you fucked up" chant was stupid. Like, I think maybe because I grew up watching stuff like that, I was just like, well, that's just how wrestling is. Sometimes you don't hit it.
Well, yeah. I mean, to me, it like adds a layer of realism to it. You know, like I also don't understand why people. I mean, it's like, I guess maybe you would like yell that at a real wrestler if they fucked up in a match or something. I don't know, but like, to me, it's ridiculous to like judge on that, because if everything just looks smooth 100% of the time, it just looks so obviously choreographed.
It looks like ballet. And
exactly.
That's the thing. Like, you know, Bruce Pritchard, I do not like this person, but he, you know, did talk about how sometimes he liked it when a match would kind of have a kind of an ugly move or something, because it felt more real. A good example, I think, I mean, if I was rating it on Dave Meltzer's scale, which is not my scale, which is 2 tiers, but if I was rating it on Dave Meltzer's scale, I would have given it like a 7 out of 10 or a 7 out of 5. This Bandito Hechicero match. What I liked about it was it's not flawless. It's not, you know, it doesn't look perfectly coordinated. There's moments where a rollover doesn't look exactly right because it looks real. It looks like two people struggling against each other instead of two people cooperating. Anyway, we're getting far away from where I wanted to go.
Oh, no, we're getting back to it. But I remember there's a referee, and I can't think of who it is, but it's like an old NWA guy. Mm-hmm. And I remember hearing an interview with him where he talks about like he wouldn't, if he ever had to take a bump, he wouldn't take a flat back bump because that's what wrestlers do. And if I take a flat back bump, you can tell I've been trained to do it. So he would fall on his side And I think that might even come up in this show tonight where somebody does that. And it's like, it looks sloppy and it looks dangerous, but it also looks real.
Yeah.
Right. That's how people
Speaking of
fall.
ref bumps, Blade.
Okay. So of all the moments in this entire card that I've been itching to talk about, this is the one that I've wanted to talk about the most. Now, I love the Steiner brothers, okay? Rick and his big steroided transphobic ass, even him as a wrestler was great, right? As a person, he's the dog-faced piece of shit. But the ending of this match defies logic on so many levels. It's awesome. So Arn Anderson gets an 8-ball from Medusa and throws it in Rick Steiner's face. I always call it an 8-ball because it's just funny to me. And he throws the powder, the cocaine, the cocaine. He throws it into Rick Steiner's face. Rick Steiner is blinded. He can't see. And we talked about this recently in a Candido thing with ECW, where Candido tackled the ref because he thought he was Lance Storm. But in ECW, there's no disqualifications. So it's totally different rules, right? This referee, for some reason, kind of runs towards Rick Steiner, and Rick Steiner fucking suplexes the living shit out of him. Okay?
Yeah.
Like, fucking murders this man. And within seconds, there's another referee there who just starts refereeing the match like it's a normal thing. In the meantime, Bobby Eaton goes running at one of the Steiners. I'm not even sure which one. I think it's Rick. Yeah, it's Rick. Arn goes running at Rick, and Rick back body drops him over the top rope. Also illegal, right?
Yep.
And then Scott throws Bobby, the illegal man. Scott, also the illegal man, throws Bobby, the illegal man, off the ropes, hits the Frankensteiner. The ref, the guy who saw the other ref get suplexed, counts 1, 2, 3, new tag team champs. Now, I'm used to WCW. I'm used to this chicanery. I knew the bullshit when I saw it, okay? The ref getting suplexed, that's going to come into play. The guy getting thrown over the top rope, that's a classic Dusty thing. Oh, well, as it turns out, Animal backdropped Arn over the top rope, so no, they're not the tag champs. The only difference is Dusty would have announced that on the TV 3 days later, okay?
Yeah.
So that's a real Dusty finish. This is the truncated one. A third ref runs down to the ring because the second ref is fucking stupid as shit and didn't think, oh, I'm substituting for a guy who just got fucking suplexed. And then they make the suplex the basis for a disqualification. Bobby Eaton and Arn Anderson are still your tag team champions. The Steiners are stupid. They're sitting there like, what do you mean? They fucking suplexed the ref. It took 3 refs to figure this out.
The Steiners' reaction to being disqualified was so undersold as well. They were just kind of like, huh? Oh, okay. Guess we didn't win that one, Rick.
Yeah, well, we'll get him next time, Rick.
And there's a dude in the crowd with my favorite sign that says, if necessity is the mother of invention, the Steiners are the father. And like, that sums it all up.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I saw that. Yes. I'm like, that's fucking brilliant.
That
dude.
is the shit, dude. That's the greatest wrestling sign I've ever heard.
Your sign wasn't Van Hammer, you pound my heart.
That's great.
Really? I got to give it to the Milwaukee people and the WCW Milwaukee people. Not a lot of homophobic signs.
No.
I mean, you go to Philly.
Back then, though, were there?
You go to Philly in
91?
ECW territory.
Oh, fair enough.
I mean, 92. No, you're not going to find that. But, when we do these ECW shows, I mean, got porn.
Right? Yeah. Got porn.
Got porn as a statement, definitive statement. Yes.
Find me after.
Yes. Yeah.
So to wrap this up, I'm going to say it's probably 1997. I'm hitting some garage sales in Bay City, Michigan, and I come across a garage sale, and they have a bunch of shirts with Lex Luger and Yokozuna from SummerSlam. What year is that?
93.
SummerSlam 93.
No.
It's okay.
Is it 93?
I don't know.
No, it's not. It's 90. No, it's 93. Yeah.
So I'm excited, and I'm like, holy shit, they got a fucking, look at all these, they had like 7 of them. I'm like, what's going on here? And the lady running the garage sale says, oh, do you do you guys like professional wrestling? And I said, yeah. And she goes, do you know who the Steiner brothers are? And I was like, yeah. And she goes, well, that's my son. Those are my boys.
Oh,
and
shit.
Your fucking mom at a garage sale. And I bought that Lex Luger and Yokozuna shirt. And
Nice.
I'm too fat to wear it now, but I wore it a lot.
You met Mrs. Rex Steiner?
I sure did.
That is the shit. And
I know,
Rick's
right?
real name is Rob, which is
Rob,
also
yeah.
very funny because people on commentary sometimes fuck up and call him Rob.
Call him Rob, right?
Yes. And it was
yeah, my
a female.
older sisters would have been in high school with them.
Yeah.
Like,
Wow. Okay.
I mean, they didn't know him. Like,
Yeah.
No, maybe they did. I don't know. They never said anything about it. You'd
Well,
think
they
they
were
would have told me of all people.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
So our next match we got is Rick Rude versus Ricky Steamboat, and at Clash of the Champions XVIII, which would that be 18?
18.
I'm bad at Roman numerals. All right.
Well, you
Once
got
you
it.
get
You-
over
yeah.
X, anyway. So Sting and Ricky Steamboat had defeated Rick Rude and stunning Steve Austin in a tag match, and were subsequently attacked by Rude and Austin, with Rude delivering not one, but 2 rude awakenings to Steamboat.
Oh
So in the February 1st episode of World Championship Wrestling, we get the announcement that Rude is going to be defending the United States Championship against Steamboat at Superbrawl. Now, on the February 22nd episode of World Championship Wrestling, the team of Sting, Steamboat, Barry Windham, and Dustin Rhodes defeated Rude, Austin, Anderson, and Eaton in an 8-man tag match, leading to another post-match beatdown where Rude got another rude awakening on Steamboat. And so we've got a little heat rolling into this one. And I just want to say, I love Rick Rude. I fucking love Rick Rude. So he comes out in his sparkly little red robe with the white collar, and the crowd, it just is fucking giving it to him, right? And he has the perfect, like, how fucking dare you? You know what I mean? And I love he cuts a little promo, and then afterwards they hit his music again just so he can start flexing and hit the ropes a couple times. But when he takes his robe off, his tights were always what I fucking loved, because they were always just so goddamn ridiculous. There was always so much going on with him.
Often match specific.
Yeah, exactly. But in this one, he's got like a turquoise base, but his name is on the ass in like a yellow comic book burst that has a green comic book like burst under it. He's got 2 hands bending a metal bar on the dick of the pants that have like a purple fucking thing behind it. And then on the side of his pants, he's got like an airbrushed cartoon of himself, but over the top of that is ravishing, and each letter has its own fucking white star, and then there's a bunch of like random purple fucking squares all over it. It made no sense.
That's an incredibly thorough, like.
I spent the entire match trying to figure out what was on his tights. It was the
Did you have
only
to pause
thing I could. No, like I just watched it through, and it was the only thing I could focus on. Was like, well, wait, is that him? Is that him on the side? What's in the little? What's one of the white? Oh, those are stars. Oh, it says ravishing.
I really okay. So Rick Rude, so many people know him from WWF, and his biggest feud there was probably the Warrior and Jake Roberts. Basically. But the Jake thing, I don't know that it ever actually really came to a conclusive end. My favorite era of Rick Rude is definitely in WCW, because he was presented as a real threat, and that in WWF he was small compared to everybody else. And it's interesting because he's not short; he's just
He's very
just
tall.
very lean.
Yes.
And but he didn't bulge out like everybody else. It's interesting because if you go watch
But he
Mid-South,
was ripped as fuck.
right
big
at this
time.
moment he is roided to perfection, baby. But if you go back and watch Mid-South from like 1983, you'll see him as a jobber there, because his actual name is Rick Rude. It's just Rood,
Yeah.
and so you'll see him in like tag teams doing jobs and stuff. And then he would go to Memphis and get a little more over. Then he went where he really got over was in WCCW, so World Class. He went there and he actually became the champion there and became a bigger deal. Then he went to NWA for a little bit. Then he went to Crockett. Then he went to WWF. And when he comes to WCW, he's treated like one of their top stars. I really believed at the time that he would become a world champion. What I love about this moment that you're talking about, Brett, is you see the lack of intellect going on in Rick Rude here. Yeah. Because he goes, if I could, and then the crowd gets louder, drowning him out. I'd like, if I could. And then the crowd keeps booing him. Very Don Callis kind of, heat. And then when he finally does get to talk, he just goes into the exact same thing he always says. There's nothing different about it. He says the same all you meat-eating meatheads, you fat
Minnesota sweat hogs.
Yeah, exactly. Like, there's nothing different about what he had to say.
No.
That was so important for him to say. He's such an idiot. It's perfect. His facial reactions to it all are perfect. It's so good.
He's great in that whole part.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, like when he came in, I mean, WCW would bring guys in and they would be Van Hammer or they would be Marcus Bagwell. And these are the guys that, look at this hot new star. And when Rude came in, it actually was like, oh shit, he didn't feel like a leftover from WWF. He felt like a viable, like, this guy's coming in and he's a big deal.
Right. And he felt like he didn't feel like a guy that got fired,
Right.
Rick Rude quit WWF. He didn't get fired. Like, he quit. He was advertised on a bunch of shows. He was still under contract, and he literally was like, you're going to have to fucking fire me. Like, let me go.
I don't know anything about that stuff.
No, there's a whole big story. I mean, Rick was also out of his mind because of the level of steroid abuse he had engaged in, and was a very, let's say, dangerous person at times. Yeah.
Right.
But also a family man who loved his wife and was very loyal to her. So it's very weird. So anyway,
I didn't like it if you took the Lord's name in vain. You ever heard that? Like Steve Austin on his podcast talking about that? Steven, don't take the Lord's name in vain, as he sits in the back seat of my car smoking a joint.
Yeah. But see, that's the thing is, like, I think Rick Rude was a really important mentor for Stone Cold Steve Austin because Stunning Steve and Rick Rude wrestled in tag matches all the time.
Yeah.
Matching names.
Yeah. He had Ravishing and Stunning, yes.
Yeah.
And so where I was trying to get to, I guess, is I would say two of Rick Rude's biggest rivalries in his career were Sting. When he first got to WCW, he stole kind of the U.S. title from Sting, and then he would be an ongoing rival of Sting. And then his other big rival was Ricky Steamboat. And this match, really, it's like Steamboat's last great hurrah as a wrestler, and he wrestled in WCW. I have a theory on Rick Steamboat. He's a great wrestler who I think maybe was a little self-destructive in that the problems kind of follow him wherever he goes. Like, he wanted to take a bunch of time off to be with his son when he was born right after WrestleMania 3 wins the Intercontinental title. Everybody knows if you're the Intercontinental Champion, you're going to be on the road. So then he has to drop it to Honky Tonk Man. Then he just gets jobbed out like crazy when he comes back, right? And then he goes to WCW in '89 when they need a big star, and his wife is basically booking him and making him the family man that comes out with her, and she's always got her own special little part of the entrance. And it's like, Ricky, you're shooting yourself in the foot. He's only there for like 6 months, and then he's gone again.
And that's when he won the belt, right?
Right, that's when he won the belt. And he disappears again. And then
he's
he comes
hopelessly uncool when you compare him to Flair. Even though Flair's the heel.
It's a gimmick suicide compared to Ric Flair. All he had to do was just be really good wrestler Ricky Steamboat, and he would have gotten over just fine. But he has to come out with the fucking dragon and his son and his wife. And he's a good family man who practices good family values. They get divorced later on. Like, he admits, like, this woman's fucking too much. But eventually, Steamboat ends up in WWF again, doing the dragon gimmick. And then leaves again, like 3 months later. And finally ends up back in WCW and stays there until he gets injured and can't wrestle anymore. And he's there for like 4 or 5 years. And he has a great run in this time. But Rick Rude was a huge opponent of his. And so the build to this match, I don't remember how the Ninja got added to this match as like his backup. Like, Paulie's not allowed and Steamboat has a backup. But you may remember Medusa in that horrible racist segment had slapped the Ninja, and the Ninja chased her down the hall, presumably got jumped by the Dangerous Alliance and replaced. So this is a good match. It's just a really good, solid match. Good work in the crowd shit. Steamboat is the master at selling. I love some of the way he bumps off Rick Rude's offense, which is mostly just like clotheslines. He clotheslines the shit out of Steamboat in this match. And it's like punches and clotheslines. And he does a swinging neck breaker to Steamboat at one point, which is like a setup for the Rude Awakening, which is just a neck breaker, you know? Degree, what were your thoughts on this one?
I was noticing Steamboat working that fucking arm. That, like, and you know Steamboat's got the arm drag, and everybody talks about WWF did that fucking documentary about Rick Steamboat, and it's basically 2 hours of people talking about how amazing his fucking arm drag is, and it was. And he stays on it and he works it. And yeah, this was like, it's two big money guys. It's two big fight guys, and they were big stars and they looked great. Rude's got a really disgusting tan. He looks like a hot dog that's been left on the grill for a little bit too long. Arm
that's the Rick Rude
like
look,
at one
baby.
Point.
Yeah.
What's that?
Z-Man also a hot dog motherfucker. Actually, Terry Taylor, same.
I don't know if it's just the lighting in WCW arenas, if it's the tanners they're going to, but everybody looks really gross. I thought I don't know. Do we want to go to the finish already or no?
Yes.
Okay, so the finish is basically that the Ninja just hits Steamboat with a phone, right? And then it's a DQ.
The Ninja's obviously Paulie under the Ninja mask, and he hits Steamboat with the phone twice in the head. So I did appreciate that Paulie kind of whiffed on the first hit, and then he made sure to hit him again really well so that Steamboat didn't have to get pinned with a shitty phone hit.
I thought it was weird that it's like, go back in the card and you have Steve Austin and Zbyszko versus Barry Windham and Dustin Rhodes, followed up by another tag match, right? And then that tag match ends in a weird disqualification thing. And then we go to this other match that also ends in a weird disqualification thing. And I don't know, it was just kind of weird to me. It was like,
that was American wrestling
coordinated that?
That was American wrestling at the time.
Lots
of pay-per-view matches ended in DQs or
even
countouts or whatever.
A lot of these matches, even this one, this is a good match. And like even the Steiner one, it's like, it's tough for me. I guess I'm spoiled on modern wrestling. I don't know if spoiled is the word, but it's tough to go back and see just big punches and big clotheslines and suplexes and punches and clotheslines and suplexes. And that's like all that every match is. And they're good and they tell good stories, but I guess I'm just spoiled with modern, like with Ospreay and fucking, Omega. that. And I go back and I like it. And it is what it is. It's of the era, but it's just like, oh man, I thought all this stuff was a little bit poppier, a little bit flashier back then. And I don't know. It's just interesting passage of time,
I feel that way when I watch Ric Flair stuff, because I thought he was like so flashy kind of in his way. And he, it doesn't look flashy now. It's a lot of chops and getting thrown off the top rope a lot,
A lot of rest holds in this era, a lot of,
working a hold was a big part of the business at the time.
Absolutely. But to your point, if you've got a guy like Steamboat and you've got a guy like Rude who can sell like motherfuckers, that armbar looks really fucking good. So
and Rude's,
I love that he gets he's working Rude's arm so much in this match that there's a spot where Rude goes to flex, but he can't because his arm's too hurt.
That's great.
One thing that this card really brought back to me that I do feel sometimes is overlooked in current wrestling, and even in my favorite stuff, is the lack of strategy that a lot of matches are worked with. It's more, there is an element of get my shit in kind of thing, whether it makes sense against this opponent or not. I think Jon Moxley's very good at it still. I think he generally seems to target something about people, and that's the story of that match. I think Kenny in his biggest matches does that pretty well. But I think most people don't. And I think that that has been lost largely. Zack Sabre Jr. is very good at it,
Absolutely.
But I thought Hechicero with Bandito the other night, Hechicero was trying to damage the ankle so that Bandito couldn't do the flying shit, Jim Ross always talks about destroying the vertical base, and that's what he means, right? Is take away his ability to stand, he can't do any moves to you, So I liked that Steamboat had a plan of attack for Rude, which was the arm, because if he can't flex, he can't put you in the Rude Awakening either, right?
Right.
So Paulie hits Ricky with a phone, kind of just temporarily knocks him out, and Steamboat gets pinned. I remember as a kid being really pissed because I thought Steamboat was definitely winning this match.
Did Steamboat get pinned?
He did, yes.
Okay, I'm sorry. I guess for some reason I was thinking it was a
No,
disqualification.
it was pretty sneaky how they did the finish, and pretty actually well done. And Paulie makes sure he hits Steamboat really good with it. Ref doesn't see it. Ninja's back down, with his head down, hiding his face, whatever. And Ricky gets pinned, and Rick Rude and the Ninja just sprints out of there. I do love on the replay where Jim Ross is like, that's obviously Paulie, and Jesse's like, we don't know that. And I'm now doing an impression of Brett's impression of Jesse Ventura. And
the copy of a copy of a copy.
Yes. You do a good Jesse, Brett. Yeah,
Thank you. Thank you.
It's good. It's good. But Jim Ross is like, get fucking real. That's obviously fucking Paulie. And then they cut to Bischoff and Tony. And Tony has to look like a fucking idiot in this moment where Bischoff's like, that's obviously Paulie dangerously. And Tony's like, well, we don't know that. It's like, yes, we fucking do.
Yeah.
But I love when they show the instant replay of the Ninja running away, and Jim Ross goes, I know that's Paulie because he's not even running. He's waddling like a woman. And one of the best lines of the night is Paulie.
Oh, God.
Jim always goes in so hard on Paulie. He just has utter contempt for Paulie. And then they cut to Missy Hyatt in the back, and she's like, I don't know what happened to the Ninja, but I'm going to talk to the champion who left his door open for some reason. She lightly presses the door. You see Paulie in the makeup and the Ninja suit. It's clear as day what happened. And Paulie got one over on Ricky Steamboat. No idea what happened to the Ninja. R.I.P. Ninja.
How
The
do you
Dangerous
kill a
Alliance
ninja?
killed a guy is the point.
Oh, goodness. All right. So we go from that into our main event here. And so leading up to this at Clash of Champions 17, I got it. Well, now I lost my thought because I was so
Leading up to
stoked
Clash of
on-
Champions.
I was so stoked on knowing what the Roman numeral was now.
Well,
thanks to you
there
boys.
was Medusa seducing Sting into being attacked from behind by Lex Luger,
Right.
who targeted Sting's knee.
Well, listen. So we had the packages, the presents that you brought up earlier, right?
Yes.
And the last one being Sting's former pal, and then champion Lex Luger, who injured Sting's knee so bad that it led to him losing the title to Rick Rude later that night.
The U.S. title, yeah.
Yep. And then after some time away healing, he goes on to Starrcade, where he eliminates Luger to win the Battle Bowl Battle Royal, which led us then to Clash of Champions 18, where new Executive Vice President of WCW, Kip Allen Frey, gave us the announcement that at Super Brawl II, we're getting Sting and Luger.
And Super Brawl were they trying to make this their WrestleMania?
No.
Because the logo looks WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I think it just happens around a similar time of year, and they're trying to draw the inference between the two. But I don't think this was ever intended to be their biggest event.
Okay.
I think Starrcade was always viewed that way.
Right.
But
I mean, at this time, I was like, is this a transition? Is that why we're going? Because I remember at the time thinking, of course, I also didn't know, but really the Starrcade was such a big deal but back then. Yeah, that's all. It just had that kind of vibe to it.
I thought, so interesting year previous to this one. In 1991, Ric Flair gets fired by Jim Herd and leaves WCW and goes to WWF with the big gold belt and calls himself the Real World's Champion. Jim Herd gets fired because he's an incompetent fucking idiot who just let the biggest star in the company leave. Rick Rude was like a godsend showing up because how do you replace Ric Flair?
Yeah.
Lex Luger finally becomes the WCW champion by beating Barry Windham in a steel cage match, and it was revealed that his new finisher is a pile driver, not the torture rack, and his new manager is Harley Race, and he's turning heel. Lex kind of goes throughout the rest of the year, successfully defending the title a few times. But the behind the scenes is Lex wants out. Sees the writing on the wall. He knows Vince wants him, and he wants to go there because he knows that's where the money is. However, unfortunate timing on his part, he gets in a terrible motorcycle accident right after this match, which necessitates him joining the WBD. He signs with the World Bodybuilding Federation. WBF is what I meant. WBD, Warner Brothers Discovery. WBF, he signs with WBF so he can get around the legalities of signing with another wrestling company while he's still under contract, technically. But that's all after this match. Lex didn't wrestle for 2 months before this match because he had already used up all the dates on his contract, and he just said, I don't care that I'm champion, fuck you. They always say about Lex, he was a business guy first. He didn't care about belts. Like, that wasn't his thing. So him wrestling Sting was his last match in WCW.
Last match till 1995.
3.5 years, yeah.
Wow.
And he gets blown the fuck up.
Pretty quick.
But he looks great. They both look great coming out. Sting
looks cool as hell, dude.
He's got the red, white, and black face paint.
Right, and like just the tips of the face paint are black.
Yeah.
It was so cool.
Yep. He's got the white trunks or the white tights with the red and black scorpion on the side. He's got the red boots, man. Dude,
and the fucking rat tail in the back, baby.
Yeah, bleach blonde fucking rat tail. And Luger looked great too. I think it was always my favorite when Luger was in the baby blue. Like it just looked so nice on him. It did with the blue. I loved because he had the white fucking boots, but his knee pads always matched his trunks.
Yeah,
and as a person on the spectrum, I enjoy symmetry.
He's just a basic kind of wrestler look, but it suited him. You know,
it's why fucking Rick Rude's tights piss me off all the time.
You can't handle them.
There's no symmetry to Rick Rude at all.
No, not at all.
I mean,
except
obviously,
mustache
and those guns.
He's got what do they call that? The clone look, the Freddie Mercury look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The what?
The clone is Freddie from Live Aid. That look that he had the short hair and the mustache. Rick has going on at the same time.
100%.
I don't know why, but I just always assume Rick Rude's mustache smells like cigars. Like he looks like a guy who would rip. Yeah.
I don't want to know what his mustache smelled like, honestly. Rick Rude's a weirdo.
Cigar and coffee.
Yeah, maybe murder. There could be a slight hint of murder. I'm not convinced Rick didn't kill somebody.
He killed he's not fucking Jimmy Snuka.
I mean, look, no, we just know about what Jimmy Snuka did. Yeah. We don't know what Rick did because where's the ninja? That's my whole point. Like
Rick's
the ninja
again. Got a sex
R.I.P.
worker
ninja
sewn into a mattress in Vegas.
That's what
Guaranteed.
I'm saying. Guaranteed. Now, I do want to say one of the coolest. Okay, so Luger, by the way, is way bigger than he should be. Like he's too big.
Big time bigger.
This guy was like 270 probably proper, maybe 250 proper before. He's almost like legit 300, and it's too much. And that's why he blows up like immediately. But I will
tell Sting's got the upper hand because he hasn't broken a sweat yet. But Lex Luger's sweating on his whole body.
And Luger's literally breathing hard like 4 minutes into the match. You know what? So the best part of this
4 minutes
are amazing. They're actually great. They could have made this match like 7 minutes long and it would have been fine.
Well, it's like prom night, man. The best 4 minutes.
But what I thought was very interesting, and actually my favorite part of the match is just the face-off before they even touch.
Dude, because I hated the fucking finish, but that was so good, especially given like their history of being pals and whatnot.
Yeah. Yep.
Like, god damn, that was a good. Like, it built so much tension over what the fuck was going to happen in this match, and then the match just wasn't that.
No, and I don't know if Luger was supposed to be. I don't know if he's just a bad actor or if he was just supposed to be stone-faced and cold, but he's just talking, and Sting is just, you see his eyes like lighting up, and he's just getting more and more pissed. Yeah, I agree with you guys. That was the fucking prelude was the whole match, man.
It was the best part, because this is the buildup of years of storytelling, as like Brett said, of them as friends. And I think, and you know, I mean, it would take forever to go through it all, but like, you know, they've been heels, they've been enemies, they've been face, you know, teammates. At the last last Superbrawl, they even mentioned that they faced the Signers together as a tag team in one of the best matches in the history of WCW.
Yeah, that match is awesome.
It fucking rules, dude. Like, imagine that. Lex Luger, just 4 gigantic dudes who can do crazy shit.
Fucking as hard as they can and moving so fast.
Yeah.
That match is great.
It's so good. And they're all buddies, too. So, like, they just go for it. But Sting looks like a child compared to Lex. Like, Sting looks small compared to Lex. But what I loved about the face-off, so I actually felt a little differently than you, Degree, on the Lex thing. Because, like, when he comes down to the ring, he looks like he doesn't want to be there and he doesn't care.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but when they start talking, Lex starts putting something into what he's doing. Mm-hmm. But as the match goes and he gets more winded, the acting gets better. You can see, like, there's a rage inside of Lex. He's always felt jealous of Sting. He's always like, this is his and you're trying to take it away from me. Fuck you. Right. You can feel that come through in Lex in a way that, honestly, I've never actually seen from Lex before or even since. And what I loved in the face-off, though, is the contempt for Lex that you see on Sting's face. Mm-hmm. You're so used to Sting being this for the kids, positive surfer Sting babyface guy. And in this moment, he's like, he literally says, "What's your problem, Luger?" Like, totally in kayfabe, totally like you would. That's what you'd say. What's your fucking problem? Yeah. You jumped me. You cost me the U.S. title. Why? Why'd you do this?
I have in my notes that Sting looks offended.
He does. He looks very offended. Then the match starts off really hot, where Sting
is like shot out of a cannon to start this match.
Oh my god, dude! And it starts too fast for Lex, obviously. But like, so Sting hits. I loved this. It felt like Goldberg Lesnar almost to me at WrestleMania, where they have like a 5-star 4-minute match. It's as good as a sub 5-minute match as you'll ever see. But like, Sting whips Luger into the turnbuckle, hits a Stinger splash, and Lex no-sells it and hits him with the clothesline within like 1 minute. And it's awesome. It just feels like, holy shit. I was like, is it, did I just forget this is the greatest match of all time or something?
Right?
It looks like it's gonna be that, but it moves too fast too soon and Lex can't handle it.
Yeah, the beginning of the match, I'm like, why do people dog Lex Luger so bad? Like, this match is fucking awesome. And then, it's just not.
Yeah.
It just peters out.
I do feel that way about like 89 Lex Luger, 90 Lex Luger, who's like wrestling hour draws with Ric Flair and doing leapfrogs and shit. And like, he is so much better than people give him credit for. Lex was my favorite guy when I first started watching WCW. Him and Muta. They were the
Muda.
thing that made me like, what the fuck is this? Like, Lex Luger was, I think it's because he was kind of like the Ultimate Warrior, and I like the Warrior so much. Very big diversion, but Bandito, who we've been mentioning earlier, is like if you literally combined like Rey Fenix with the Ultimate Warrior. That anyway. Side note:
if anybody for some reason is listening to this episode, like in the future, it's like years from now, it's because Bandito is going to be the goddamn wrestler of the year this year, and if not, you're a fucking dork.
And he's probably the wrestler of the year in the year that you're listening to this, but he hadn't been yet.
Right. By this time, by the time you hear this, he'll be a 5-time world champion.
Yeah, he better be. And Takeshita as well. They'll probably be trading spots as the best wrestler in the world for years to come, with Kyle Fletcher as well. But I think that,
man.
After humanity has died out and someone finds this podcast and they build a religion based on it, remember those names. That's your holy trinity.
So this match devolves from being awesome, just use your best shot right now, immediately, no hesitation, to like Lex Luger walking around trying to catch his breath desperately. And Sting trying to do something interesting while that happens. And Harley trying to get involved because he can see Lex is hanging on for dear life.
Oh, yeah.
Harley... I did think one thing was pretty funny because I barely remember anything about the last 8 minutes of this match, but Harley tries
to fall asleep.
I mean, Jesus Christ. Harley tries to pile drive Sting on the outside, and Sting fucking backdrops Harley, who's got to be 50 something by now. He's only been retired for like 1 year. Harley takes a big back bump on the outside, and Jesse Ventura slips up for a minute and goes, wow, Sting with a big back bump on Harley on the outside. Little bit of poking through the kayfabe, but Lex was distracting the ref, so Harley takes the back bump. Sting jumps up on the top rope, hits a flying body press, and pins Lex Luger.
And that's it.
And Lex sells being
Boring
disappointed.
finish to me, man. Like,
It's really a drag of a finish.
Yeah.
I would have loved it if this match was literally 5 minutes long.
Yeah.
Make it 5 minutes, just your biggest holds, and somebody runs out of steam. That's it. That's all it needed to be.
It doesn't help that after the match, they cut back to Jim Ross and Jesse Ventura, and Jim Ross is just describing what's happening.
They're not showing anything.
No, and it's just fucking Jim Ross taking, like, his face taking up 3/4 of the camera. Oh my God, Sting and all the little stingers, and he's got this big, like, fucking kid on Christmas morning.
He started to leave, but now he came back down the ramp. He's coming back,
and they don't show any of it.
No, and then they finally cut, and you just see Sting walking behind the curtain with the belt, and you're like, what?
No, so Jim's like going, oh, he's coming back for the little stingers. Oh, that child just had the night of his life. And then Sting's turning away. Sting's turning away from that kid by the time they cut back. And then he's like, do I need to stay out here? Are we still on? Like, I don't even know. And he just starts walking to the back. It's such a disastrous ending to go with the really pointless, disastrous beginning of the show.
There's a point at this pay-per-view, and I know shit happens, and you can't control everything, but like they show the entrance ramp and you see like stagehands just like running back and forth, and I'm like, I feel like you shouldn't show that on your biggest fucking show of the year.
Which is wild to me, though, because one thing I loved about this pay-per-view was during a few of the matches, like the way they were cutting between angles was amazing. Like especially during Rick Rude and Steamboat. Like the camera work and production for that match was fucking great. They got so many great angles during that.
I wanted to mention, actually, AEW is so hard to criticize their pay-per-views. It's really, really hard. I mean, believe me, I do it on Sit Down, Shut Up all the time, and people get so mad at me because they're like, what? Why are you even complaining about anything? And it's like, well, if I just had a podcast where I gassed up AEW the entire time, it'd get kind of boring, right?
Right.
So, like, one thing that I noticed from this pay-per-view that's similar to WWF but different, because it's not as heavy-handed, is there's these narratives going on throughout the show backstage. There's stuff going on during the show. There's stories that kind of thread throughout the show. I wish AEW would do a little more of that on the pay-per-views, because I do sometimes feel like, like Forbidden Door is an exception because that's cross-promotional. There's a lot going on. But like, at Revolution, at these other shows, I really do think you should probably have more than just incredible action bell to bell.
Well,
Yeah,
it's
just the
probably
narrative
hard. Yeah, well, I think
Yeah.
it's probably hard because they have so many goddamn matches. I mean, look
Right.
at All In was like
Brett,
fucking
stop
6
doing the thing with the
hours.
bottle.
Oh,
Stop
sorry.
doing the thing with the bottle.
All In was like 6 hours long. You know what I mean? It's. I mean, would they do? I mean, they'd have to take a couple matches out to add more of that. Which I don't know. I don't know what I would.
I think
like
they
more.
should. I think it would benefit them, honestly, if they. I think they could raise the stakes for some of the matches even happening on the show. And they there's exceptions. Okay, I'm not saying every show, and they shouldn't do it the same way every time. All In was a perfect show. They didn't need to do anything different. It was great the way it was. The entrances, everything was fantastic. They're a fantastic company. I'm nitpicking at the smallest shit I can think of.
Yeah.
But anything can be improved, right? So that's something I thought, hey, that's kind of missing sometimes from AEW pay-per-views. I would love it if they had Renee telling a story throughout the show, or Lexi, or
just a through line. And it also is a good way to there's a lot of new AEW fans right now.
right.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good way to hook them, is you give them that little morsel of the next story.
And build anticipation throughout the night for the main event or whatever it's going to be. I don't think you want to do it like WWE does, where it's like half the show is that,
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be some big goofy thing where it's like somebody's kidnapped in the back. It's just like, have a few more interviews, a few more promos, and have people how are we feeling tonight? How are you feeling about the match tonight? We don't really do that,
Yeah. That's
So-
good. That's a good thought.
Yeah.
Because I do like that. I do like, in a lot of these older pay-per-views that we watch and everything is, I mean, that the build for the main event throughout the course of the show does give it that big fight feel that we all talk about. You know what I mean? And that I think
you're so excited.
Yeah, because it gives you a little bit of that, well, who's gonna take it?
Right.
Like who? You could have like Will Ospreay getting ready for show him his little warm up and talking about how he's feeling, and maybe he's not doesn't have a lot of confidence going into the match, and somehow pulls it out. Yeah, it's a good thought.
Or he talks about feeling beat up or injured or whatever, and it gives you those little cues for those strategy things in the matches that we were talking about.
Right.
You know what you're looking for there. Yeah.
You know what you're looking for. You know what his opponent's strategy could be going into the match. I do think that's stuff that it's not an AEW thing. It's a contemporary wrestling thing, because I think Vince kind of created this world where everybody wins with their finisher, and whether their finisher has anything to do with the rest of the match or not.
Yeah.
And AEW's subverted that to a large degree, but they still fall into it a little bit sometimes. And I think I like that. Like we were just talking on Sit Down, Shut Up about women have been incorporating more submission finishers into their repertoires lately. I like stats winning matches by submission. Athena, Tony has the chicken wing that she's added into her thing.
I won't give away because I know you didn't watch Collision yet.
Right.
But we get one of those on Collision this week.
That's awesome.
Sweet.
That's awesome.
All right, well, thank you for joining us, everyone. We will be back next week, and we'll be taking a trip back to my childhood a little bit this time. We've been trying to stay away from the E, but we will be doing WWF Bad Blood 1997.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
So find us, sickosclub.com. We're on all the socials, thehardway.pod. We'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.
Sickos Club.